can and head up to Laramie for the Big Buffs and Pokes matchup. And we look forward to hearing that with the pregame starting at 7 o'clock. Glad you're along with us. Big 4A final. We'll talk a little bit about that as we start to roll in. But it is time for the 5A state championship. The big boys set to get it on here. And it is Ballard Christian. They are used to being here at Sports Authority Field at Mile High. However, this is the first time they've done it in Class 5A. They will become the first team in the state of Colorado, should they win today, to win 4 straight state championships, but win it in 3 different classifications. On the other side of things, Cherokee Trail, 3 out of the last 6 years, they've been to the semis, but they haven't been able to make it to the finals. 3A, 4A. Now they're finally here in Class 5A. A little under the radar. We'll hear from Coach Monty Thielen. He knows they're not under the radar anymore being here in the finals. Andy, let's set this one up a little bit here. You didn't sugarcoat it before. I'm not going to sugarcoat it either. The favorite coming in is Ballard Christian because they're that good, and they've gotten better as the season's gone along after losing their first 2 games. This Cherokee Trail Club, though, is going to have to play almost perfect today to win a 5A final.
Yeah, they are, and I feel like a lot of times it's funny because you get to the championship game and sometimes everybody just assumes it's going to be an even matchup. It seems like all the time there's a surprise team in there. As you've mentioned, Cherokee Trail is that surprise team. So you can't sit here and describe it necessarily as even. But again, the thing I've touted all week for the Cherokee Trail side of things is when you talk to people about this team, when you look at their playoff journey, when you recap everything that they've done, these kids have shown heart. And that sometimes is a huge factor that people underestimate when we're talking about championship scenarios. Now, on the other side of the ledger, there's no denying when you have a team as tested, as veteran, as put through the rigors as Valor is, and as talented then on top of it, they're going to be the behemoth. They're a little like the Pittsburgh Steelers dynasties. They're the San Francisco 49ers or the Cowboys right now. Now, maybe they've not been doing it in 5A, but they've certainly made a quick name for themselves in Colorado high school prep boy football. So we'll see how this works out today. And again, some interesting discussions could await the wrap-up of this game. But right now, let's just see how it plays out, and we'll just see what happens. I mean, there's surprises all the time. Again, I think what's going to be huge for Cherokee Trail, as I kind of mentioned to Mark Johnson, you're going to have to establish your style of run game and stick to your identity and don't try to go outside yourself. That's when teams get in trouble. And you're going to have to limit. I think in a way, Cherokee Trail has to take the same game plan today that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers need to take when they come to this very field tomorrow to play the Denver Broncos. Limit Valor's possessions. Own the game with your running game. If you can do that and you can limit their time of possession, then I think that's really going to be the key that you need to use to try to get to this championship. If you give Valor a lot of cracks at you offensively, I think we can all guess what the outcome probably would be.
You know, the booth's not very big up here, but there's another elephant in the room that we can talk about, and that is playing at a facility like this. Thanks to the folks with the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame and the Colorado High School Activities Association getting together, wanting to play in this big venue. You had an opportunity to see the 4A final, and we've seen a few from here between 4A and 5A, and how the players react, how the coaches react, and how the referees react as well, being on this big stage and being on TV as well. It plays into this game nearly as much as the movement of the football down there.
Are you referring to our controversial, what's going to be the non-touchdown call in the 4A game? Or
It's one that I just bring up. We also saw that there was a very nice interception down here by Monarch. Now, they ended up picking up yards out of it, as it turns out. You have the benefit of replay for the fans, but again, nothing changes in the rules of high school in the National Federation rules when you come to a bigger stadium. You've got a play clock out here. They do have those down in Colorado Springs at every stadium. We don't have them here in the district stadiums around Denver, so that's a little bit of a change, but you've got replays going on. You got all this stuff. It doesn't change the rules. There is no replay. You don't go back and look at it. You make the call, and that's the call.
And unfortunately, I think that just served, especially on the touchdown, the controversial non-touchdown where the knee was ruled down.
Berry here on campus of Valor Christian on behalf of CHSAA TV. Over the next 20 minutes, you'll see highlights and interviews of the teams participating in the 5A state championship game as a part of our pregame run-up to the game coming your way at the bottom of the hour. In 5A, the 11-2 Eagles of Valor Christian are matched up against the third-seeded Cherokee Trail Cougars. The Valor Christian Eagles are on the quest for the fourth straight state championship and their first in 5A. The Cougars, led by quarterback Eric Johnson and Brandon Berry, have the tough task of stopping Gatorade Player of the Year Christian McCaffrey and Oklahoma State commit Luke Del Rio.
All across the state. There's some pretty good games going on right there. Look at there, a little cutback, little trouble here now, and off to the races he goes. Thomas, one man to beat, down the far sideline. Touchdown.
Championship Saturday is obviously a great event. Cherokee Trail High School, we're really happy to be here. Principal Kim Rao is here with us, along with our athletic director, Steve Carpenter, and our coaching staff and some of our players. We're just really excited to be a part of this and welcome the opportunity.
And it'll be a quarterback sneak into the end zone for a touchdown.
I'm Landon Tripp here at CHSAA TV. I'm here with Cherokee Trail's head coach Monty Thielen. What does it feel like to make it this far and be in the big Broncos Stadium and have your training team on?
Well, it's fantastic to be here. It's a great place for kids to experience a football game. This is a wonderful experience.
So you're
Well, this is our first state championship game, and we're really excited to be here. It happens to fall on the 10th anniversary of the opening of our school, so that's exciting as well. It's easy to look back at the start of our school and having 450 students that first year, and now there were 2,000 students more than that, and it's exciting. It's great that a number of our alumni have been able to share the journey with us throughout the playoffs. We're really excited at the opportunity that's coming up this Saturday for us.
All right, I'm Lexi O'Dad here with Eric Johnson, the quarterback at Cherokee Trail. So how does it feel to be playing the state championship this weekend?
You know, it feels great. You know, being the first time in history that we're coming to state, you know, to do this for the seniors, it feels great.
4 receivers, and Sherman Thomas will be in motion again. It'll be a fake pitch to him. He's looking deep down the field in the middle. Got his man, number 28. He actually had 2 receivers.
Landon Tripp of CHSAA TV here with Brandon Berry and Cherokee Trail. What does it feel like to be playing your school's first football state championship?
It's a great honor because a lot of people try their whole life, you know, ever since they're a little kid to try to get to this game, and the fact that we made it happen this year, can't even express it.
What would you say the key to your team's success has been?
Right side hash mark, Johnson looks, throws over the middle, and a push.
What game do you feel like it was the most challenging this year that really influenced your team to keep going and move on past those obstacles?
I think the Mullen game was actually the most influential on us. Everybody was doubting us. We went into it, went up 17-0 in the first half. Then Mullen started battling back, and we just held our ground and fought through and made it.
Our awesome cameraman so quickly just enlightened me that was for 12 men on the field. Now Eric Johnson's going to roll back in the pocket plenty of time, hives it to the end zone, and he is untouched.
I'd say it's definitely not giving up, no matter the situation. Whether we were down points or up going into the second half, our team has never given up. And that's definitely the biggest part of that game, because if we were to have given up, we could have easily have given up in a few games that we played. But we didn't, and we kept fighting, and that brought us here.
And do you feel like, how has your team been different this year as in years past? You being a senior on this team, you've been on it for 4 years. How's it been different?
We've had a closer bond. Everybody's like a family. Everybody loves each other. There's nobody that doesn't like each other on that team. We got a great camaraderie going, and everybody loves each other.
Not a lot on the ground for Cherokee Trail. They'd like to keep it down there, but really single digits on the ground so far. Johnson flushed out, throws it on the run, caught there, first down and more, and stepping out near the 27-yard line.
This year, your team was the biggest challenge that you guys had to overcome?
The biggest challenge that we had to overcome is the fact that we have a very small senior class. us in numbers in terms of players. And so we've been relying on younger players for a lot of the year, more than we typically do. And getting those players experience and maturity and all of those things that goes into being a varsity football player is probably been the biggest challenge.
But boy, you've got to find a way to stop it here. Empty backfield now. And around. Can he get to the edge? Cuts it up. First down.
And being a junior, and not the oldest on the team, you're the quarterback. How has it been taking on that leadership role? Only as a
You know, it's been great. You know, I have my 4 senior linemen who keep me in the game. You know, they show great leadership, and they just keep everybody composed in the huddle.
Has this week's preparation for your team been any different from the rest of the year?
Honestly, we've just prepared this week like every other game. Hard and fast.
Back to pass. Johnson setting up that middle screen. It got blown up, so he's going to tuck it and go. Wise decision, though, as he spun down near.
And how do you feel like you, as well as the rest of the seniors, have taken on that leadership role and really led your team this far?
We've stepped in when we needed to and stepped back when everything was going great and let everybody get the limelight and everything. And we've just kept everybody's heads up, and when things go rough, we dig our feet in and keep fighting.
And how do you feel like the environment this weekend is going to affect your team at all? Do you think it's going to change the way you play?
I know some people are going to be nervous, but I don't think it'll change the way we play. We'll probably have the best game of our year just because everybody's been preparing so hard for it. We're just excited for this opportunity to be out here.
What was the biggest challenge for you personally this year?
Biggest challenge for me personally? I would say the biggest challenge for me personally was getting our team ready to play, because we have a lot of young talent on our team, but the thing with young talent is that they're young. So they're a lot of times nervous and not ready for the game, and really it's just like it's the same football that they've been playing their whole life. You know? So every week we try to prepare our young athletes to be ready for this game, because if they continue playing like they do, then we'll have our best shot.
They've been now into double digits. Minute 37 left to go. They lost a lot of time with the umpire standing over the ball waiting for everybody else was there. Johnson up to the 46-yard.
When you're playing defensive line, Valor Christian's gotten some great lines. What do you want to do as a lineman to really give your team an edge?
I want to try to hold the double teams on the line and not let the linemen get off the back.
Set that ball down. The clock's not running here. The umpire really making sure they got count the players. Johnson rolling left, throwing with his right. Caught out there, down near the ground.
Knowing how far your team's moved, what has been some areas that you've really succeeded in and feel like your team has this year?
Our defense definitely holds people down. Our offense has a great run and pass game. Eric does a great job of getting the ball to the guy he needs to. We make a play when it needs to count, and we just keep driving and strive for better.
I would imagine they're going to use the middle part of the field here. Rolling here to the right side. Looking, got a man out here caught, and he knocked out of bounds. He heads out of bounds at about the 38-yard line.
The environment's definitely going to change some things because everybody's going to be on a different level. You know, so much more anxiety. I just think we're just going to have to settle down and be ourselves.
A field goal on what looked like a long sustained drive. Johnson now over the middle, caught there. A little bit of room. Thompson inside the 20 down to the 18-yard line.
I think we'll have our work cut out for us to pressure the passer. Hopefully we'll be successful at that. But I think we have some athleticism on our defensive line, and we'll just have to see what time and how we match up with our opponent. But they're very good.
Five. He's been able to find his way through. 18 seconds, clock rolling. Johnson steps up, not going to throw it. Now he's going to try to get to the sideline. He'll fall to about the 10-yard line. 10 seconds left.
Coach, last week Thunder Ridge coach Joe Johnson said they lost because they weren't prepared for Valor's speed on defense. What are you doing to prepare for that?
Well, we think that we can put a pretty fast scout team out there against us as well. And I think that our league, we face some fast defenses. Now, Valor takes it to a whole other level. And we're going to have to play our very best against them. But their speed is legitimate. And hopefully our opponents in the past and our practice habits will prepare us to play our best on Saturday.
Field
so we'll see how Cherokee Trail can respond to that quick touchdown. Eric Johnson now. He's going to take handoff and run it up the middle, and he's got some space. Out across the 50, trying to hurdle. Will Dines, the last.
If you had to say that there was one key to the game on Saturday, what would it be for your team?
I think the biggest indicator in almost every game is turnovers. We're going to want to hopefully create some turnovers on defense and stay away from turnovers on offense. That probably would be the number one.
Certainly, if you're a Cougar fan, for Ralston Valley, it looked like they had this one in control in the first half. They gave up the late touchdown, 97-yard drive by Cherokee Trail, and the Cougars cut the lead at the half, 10-7 at the half, and then Sherman Thomas.
And I'm here with Christian McCaffrey. So, Christian, wonder what's this season been like so far, and what are you looking forward to next week?
It's been a great season. Can't ask for more out of my teammates, out of my coaches, out of the whole staff and the Valor community. It's been a fun season, awesome season, and we got one more week left of hard work and preparation, and hoping we can get a W.
This year Valor Christian made the step up between 4A and 5A, and what do you think the biggest difference has been?
I would just say, it's not been that much of a difference, just probably, more hype. That's the only thing, we kind of like to stay, within ourselves throughout the seasons, but, not much of a difference, just, bigger teams.
So obviously you grew up around football with your father being an NFL player, and a lot of people kind of want to know what that was like and kind of what that experience really did, especially in the game, and how you can kind of look at the game from a different perspective.
It was definitely tough growing up with him, but it was also great. A lot of pressure, but he gives me a lot of good tips, which is really helpful when he sees something that I need to work on. He's right there, easy access for a mentor. So it was great.
How does this year's team compare to the last two state championship teams that you've played on?
I think the only thing that's changed is the people. Still the same brotherhood and the same tradition that's carried on throughout the last 3 years. But all in all 3 years have been great. Teammates have been awesome, and coaches, stayed the same. Couple different ones, but it's been a lot of fun with all three of them. I don't think they've changed too much, except for the bodies.
We're here with quarterback Luke Del Rio on the Valor Christian Eagles. So, Luke, how does it feel to be going to the state championship this weekend?
It's really cool to be able to make it to state. Obviously after starting 0-2, a lot of people count us out, but we got on a roll. We fixed our mistakes, and we're in state. So.
Great. What do you think has been the key to your team's success so far?
I think a lot of teams in high school are one-dimensional. They can either pass the ball or they can run the ball, and having Christian has really been a huge asset to our team. He's such a talent at the running back position, and we have great schemes that get our wide receivers open, and so we've been very balanced this season. I think that's carried us along with our outstanding defense the entire season.
Is there anything that you've personally achieved goal-wise this season that you haven't done in years past with the other teams you've played on?
Two of the biggest things was I wanted to cut down on interceptions, and I wanted to complete 70% of my passes. And so far I have 3 interceptions, and I'm completing, I think, 70 or 71% of my passes. So those two things, I think, really helped out our team in not making those mistakes that end up losing games.
Colorado High School Activities Association, 8th year that we have been here. Corey Lopez, Andy Lindahl, Reed Fisher's here, and we bring him back into the fold, Marty Cesario from, well, let's see, we can name it CHSAA.tv. We've got ISPN and, of course, CET. He also is the sideline man for the Colorado State University Rams on radio. So welcome. We're glad you're here.
Thanks for having me here.
And a former Friday Night Lights guy, award-winning Friday Night Lights man as well.
It's kind of a deja vu thing. Should we spark up the Peaches and Herb? Reunited? Are you guys feeling so good?
Yeah, I'd rather we didn't.
Okay.
Just because of the song. I mean, I'm glad we're reunited, but we don't need to sing about it.
Okay.
That's for sure. And Marty's also a voice that's very familiar to KOA listeners. You two, of course, are the major contributors to our prep report every Friday night. We talk to both of you guys on Primetime Sports. Marty's going to continue with us at 9:35. Corey bounces around. Doesn't really have a set time yet, but we'll talk to you every Friday as we get throughout the basketball season. So we will have some fun with that as we continue into basketball. Gents, let's talk about this game coming up. Corey and I have already talked about it, Marty. Let's get your take on it first. I mean, it's kind of tough to, normally we like to give a good even keel for both sides, but Corey and I were pretty honest about it. Unless Cherokee Trail plays their game, this game's going to get away from us a little bit early on would be the suspected outcome anyway. But how do you see this one breaking down? You're one of the guys that has told me, you told me just Thursday, Cherokee Trail kids have got heart. Don't count them out just yet.
Oh, they've got a lot of heart, too, and I think a big key is the Cougars have a lot of speed. I mean, they're really fast, especially on that defense. Sideline to sideline, Valor is not going to be able to exploit the Cherokee Trail defense. It's just not going to occur. Now, Valor's got a lot of weapons, and they certainly have some great play calling with Coach Sherman and Wieselmeyer and that staff there. But, I think speed is going to be a great advantage for Cherokee Trail and trying to be competitive in this football game. They've got some great players there, and then you talk about specifically the level of talent over the top in the passing game. Valor's not going to get to go deep against Evan White. That kid's a D1 football player back there at the free safety position. You got Thomas Thorvitt back there. He's going to play some college football too. So, this will be a challenge for Coach Wieselmeyer and Rod Sherman, who's calling the offense for Valor Christian, to come up with some, a designed attack, and we'll see how they come off to start this game scripted, to try to find some angles to work around a couple of the things that I've been mentioning. Is, secondary real strong, speed collectively for that defense for Cherokee Trail. You're going to have to come up with some different things, and obviously a run game is going to be a part of it. Try to run behind that big offensive line for Valor and see if you can pop Darryl Hawkins and, of course, Christian McCaffrey in the ground attack.
You and I had a chance to see the matchup when they played Legend, which Legend is trying to build that into a bit of a rivalry. They're not that far away from each other down there in Highlands Ranch. When you think about what happened in that game, it got away from them toward the end of the first half, and Legend played them close. I think there are a lot of teams. I got a chance to watch Fort Carson and Valor play. They were close for a little bit. Mm-hmm. It's not only the talent, but I think the experience and the even keel that Valor plays with. They just keep leaning on you until finally you fall over.
Yeah, I think so, and that'll be a challenge for Coach Thielen's squad, Cherokee Trail. When you take on Valor, you're going to have a sense of mental toughness, and you're going to have to come for a full war. And, that war, it starts immediately for one. We talk so much about what that defensive line does for Valor Christian. They're suppressing you. They're going to attack you. You're not going to get much done. If you came into this football game thinking, hey, we'll put 10 points on the board early, well, it's not going to happen. It may take you till the third quarter to get those 10 points, and you hope your defense plays well to where you can last through a four-quarter football game. You're the underdog if you're Cherokee Trail, but you got to have a four-quarter mentality in this football game. So many times, including that Legend game that you and I called, Corey, where, we've seen it so many times. Teams get blasted early, and then they get off, and then it just becomes a runaway to where you're completely out of it. Valor, I watched it in the semifinal game with Thunder Ridge. They're a community killer, not just the team. They take an entire football community, suppress them on the football field, and then delete them as a community with all the things they do. There's just, and I say that because, it's a credit to what they've put together as a football program. You got to come out there, and you got to be able to handle it. Their fans need to stay with them, too, the entire time, regardless if they're down 7 or things aren't going well. You had 3 series where you aren't getting anything done whatsoever. You got to stay with it. And, a key, too, with Valor is, and Coach Wieselmeyer will admit this, it happened in the Mullen game to start the season off. It happened up in Bingham, Utah. His kids do make mistakes. They have some penalties here and there, or, they'll fumble the football away. You've seen that, Corey.
Yeah.
Can you capitalize on that? Usually it just doesn't occur. Their defense holds up after their offense gives the football away. Can Cherokee Trail find a way if those mistakes happen? Because we always, try to qualify the fact that these are teenage kids out on the football field, even if it's Valor Christian, who's won multiple state championships. It's still a bunch of goofballs and knuckleheads out there, and they can make mistakes. Can you find a way to capitalize on those mistakes when they occur?
Well, this should be, at least we hope it will be, a fun football game to watch. And you're right. You never know what's going to happen with high school kids. The reality, though, of it is there's plenty of kids on that Valor team that are going to be excited to watch. If you want to watch for kids at the next level, you mentioned a couple on the Cherokee Trail side of things that may move to the next level. There's some familiar names, some familiar last names on this Valor roster, as Christian McCaffrey's just one of them. Brian Dawkins has a boy on the squad, as well as Jack Del Rio's kids. So some guys that you're going to definitely want to pay attention to, and again, it should make for a fun game. Before we cut you free, Marty, you want to offer any comments on what we saw in the 4A game? You had some interesting takes from the sideline. Our man Reed Fisher, I think, was right in line with you as he gave us some observations from field level, but maybe not officiated to the level that we want to, or do we want to say that? Or
Well, I think we won't bag on the refs, but we will say you did have impact on the football game. That end of the third quarter reach by Tasco along the goal line, that was a touchdown. And I'm not bagging on anybody, but it was a touchdown. Okay, but hey, after that, South's defense made a stop and they got the football. Fourth down situation. The entire coaching staff for South was out on the football field, couldn't get anybody's attention. And I think the reaction of the players, both sides, thought there was going to be a timeout called. So that had impact. That's fair. Let's move aside from that. What we saw was, the identity of Monarch, I think, came into fruition, and came out perfectly towards the end of the game. Hey, when you're playing Monarch, you want a chance to make a stop against a team that's totally run-centric. South couldn't get it done, but for Mohai, that was exactly what the Coyotes have been about forever and ever and ever. So, I think you got exactly what you wanted out of that. I love how South, so much heart coming back, considering the things we just mentioned, and they, created 4 turnovers early in that football game, still fought back and still battled back. I was down there. That whole crowd was totally behind them, screaming and chanting Spirit Squad leading chants of "We love you," that type of stuff. We believe. So, nobody wants consolation prizes, right? But South and Coach Tony Lindsay, man, they brought everything out on that football field. They just were 3 points short.
Well, the reality of it is everyone handled it with class, even if there was some controversy.
Absolutely. So. Credit South for that, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Marty, great seeing you. I know you're going to be running around down there talking to folks, of course, doing it for CET Sports and Xfinity and anybody else. Certainly.
You come calling, I'm listening.
Boy.
Hey, you know what? At Marty Cesario on Twitter, and we told you about this before, he just gave a big basketball preview as it's time to move into basketball season after today. So find him on Twitter, check that out. We'll be talking with Marty and Corey on Primetime Sports in the 9 o'clock hour all throughout the prep basketball season as well.
All right, good stuff. Here we go. Getting ready for the kickoff now as we get rolling into the 5A title game here. Always good to catch up with the Friday Night Lights crew. Boy, that was a long time ago, wasn't it? Let's head downstairs. Reed Fisher got a little something.
All right, thanks, Corey. Appreciate it. The 4A game, we had a tremendous atmosphere. Bigger crowd, I think, for the 5A game down here, and it's going to be a great atmosphere down here. Valor Christian's going to receive the ball here to start. Something to keep in mind, Cherokee Trail gave up a touchdown on the opening drive last week, but that was the only one they gave up the whole game. We'll see how their defense does here on this first series.
All right. It is Brandon Spencer ready to kick it away here for Cherokee Trail. And Alex Ulmer and Christian McCaffrey are back deep. The road whites for Cherokee Trail, and a squib kick coming here to the near side, just outside the numbers. Scooped up by the up man at the 20-yard line. He'll get to about the 31, and that's as far as Jazz Polson will get. And it'll be first down and 10 there just outside the 30. Devin Arnold came up and made the hit here. Not a bad thought. keep it away from number 5 and number 6 out there for Valor.
Yeah, I was about to say already, Cherokee Trail letting you know they want to limit the possession time and the time that Christian McCaffrey in particular has that football in his hands.
So they'll go from their own 31-yard line. It's Luke Del Rio. I set slot right for them. They'll set up now to a pro set and now to a shotgun as Del Rio steps back to about the 34. Direct snap. He's still got it. Hands it off now up the middle. A little crossbuck. I know that's old school. Up to the 35-yard line. It's Hawkins on the first carry. Daryl Hawkins. Be surprised we'll get almost as many carries as Christian McCaffrey will.
Yeah, nice job to open the game. And again, we're going to talk a lot about keeping the offense on schedule. That's what we did last game. Valor did it right here. First down, 4 yards, 2nd and 6. Everything's in front of you now.
So 2nd and 6, the ball left side hash mark here. Del Rio, play action, look at the pass. Steps up in the pocket, and he's going up top. Looking for Ulmer, a little push, and it's shoving an interception at the 24-yard line. Coming down with it is Anthony Murray. Murray and Ulmer were battling. Murray got the best of him.
Well, let's see if that sets the theme for the day. There was some bumping and grinding going on there, if you want to call it that, between the receiver and the DB. And great job of getting off, not letting the receiver push him. And Murray did a good job of getting his hands on the football. And first momentum play goes to Cherokee Trail, but let's see if the refs continue to let these guys jostle each other out there in the secondary.
They'll go from their own 22-yard line. We'll check in with Breed Fisher after this play here as Eric Johnson brings them out. End around as they try to get it to Smith. Cameron Smith will be the guy they'll want to get the ball into the hands of an awful lot here today. He'll take it to about the 25, a pickup of about 3. Reed Fisher on the sideline.
Thanks, Corey. You know, I think we're already starting to see this is going to be a completely different game from the 4A. A lot more wide open. We've already seen a deep ball and an end around. This game could be fun.
Well, we've already seen Marty Cesario's point of the speed that'll be on display here in this second game.
Both defenses very good. Single setback behind Johnson now, and they'll pitch it on the end around, and again that defense scoops them up. Big Stanley Gilbert, one of the guys jumping in. Carlos Aviles is also there. And again, great penetration.
Well, if you're going to run the football, and that's what Cherokee Trail wants to do, they find themselves in a 3rd and 7, going to be a bit of a tough rundown. You've got to pick up more yardage than that. You cannot allow Valor to set the edge like they did right there. There was nothing outside. Valor had that one hemmed in.
Eric Johnson can throw the ball around. They'd prefer that he just kind of hand things off to a bevy of guys from the shotgun now. Looks to the left side, over the middle. It is tipped, and it was behind his receiver. He was looking over on the far side for Jason Thompson, the big sophomore over there, but it sailed on him.
Yeah, tough read, too, that time by the quarterback. His running back was heading out to the flats. Looked like he had plenty of zip on that inside football. Now, there was a linebacker or a safety or a corner hanging out in zone. He might have made the pass a little bit tough, but it looked like that outside receiver in the flats towards the boundary would have been the better option.
So Cherokee Trail will have to punt here from their own 25-yard line. Christian McCaffrey is back deep. He's standing just inside his 39-yard line now. Good snap back to Welchert, and he's trying to angle it away or at least punt it short. McCaffrey will have to let it roll, and it'll roll down to the 31 to near the 30-yard line here. Punt it left, punt it right, punt it short. Keep it out of the hands of the return man for Valor.
Well, we've already seen Cherokee Trail's defense make one statement to start the game. Let's see if they can make another. Valor, of course, is going to look to get the offense untracked as we get going now, but Cherokee Trail needs to own possession time, in my opinion, and now we've got the two. We're going to have a TV timeout here, so both teams are going to retreat to their respective benches. But Cherokee Trail has got to find a way to control the football, as we talked about, Corey. Cannot have a lot of 3-and-outs, or I think come the second half, this game will be getting away from them.
Might make mention, as I look over, I've got a camera right in my face here, and you can certainly go and find it at CHSAA.tv. That's CHSAA.tv. And then you look for the play-on links there, and you click on the audio portion. You'll see it pop up there. You'll see our goofy faces up there, and then you'll get to see them live, video streaming. It's kind of cool to see what's going on here behind the booth. We thank the folks at Valor for putting this together. It's very nice, but we also have to watch, realize what I'm doing here from time to time here. How you doing?
You got funny habits you don't want to share with everybody? Is that what you're saying?
I tend to kick back and relax a little bit as I'm calling a game sometimes, and I've realized that I've done that before. So I'm gonna. It's not that I'm not paying attention. I just can't sit straight up. My mom used to warn me about that. Don't do it. Sit up straight.
Mom knows best.
Now I can't because my back starts to hurt. Also has a little something to do because I'm plus 40. No score here, and fireworks already. One turnover by Valor. They tried to take a shot deep. It was picked off by Anthony Murray. So with 9:51 left to go here in the first quarter, no score. Both teams have had the ball twice. Valor will get it for a second time here, and they'll go first down and 10 near side hash mark from their own 31-yard line. Can't believe what a day it is here. Best day, certainly in the 8 years that they've had the games here. Best day that they've had, fall day here in Colorado. We've had some good ones, but it's hard to top this one.
Yeah, you just called it a fall day, which is exactly what it feels like here. Too bad the calendar reads December 1st. I heard your promo, Stephen Tubbs and the morning crew taking on, is it time to worry about not having snow?
I know. Winter doesn't come until the 22nd. Option play, they kick it out to McCaffrey, right side, as he bounces outside as he gets a block to the sideline, stays inbound, still on his feet, 50-yard line. He steps out over there. They're going to say he stepped out just outside the 45-yard line on the far side, but he wasn't touched until he got over there.
Alex Ulmer throwing the block. Defensive back came in as he was trying to keep that running back, Christian McCaffrey, from getting outside. And not to be outdone here. You could see a block as we're watching a replay now. You got inside, and Ulmer does a great job of not getting a clip.
You got Evan White having to come over and make the tackle. That's trouble, certainly. 15 yards on the pickup, first down and 10 from their own 46-yard line. Far side hash mark now. Shotgun time for Del Rio. Twins either side. He's got it. Looks right. Now he's going to go up top, and he was looking for McCaffrey, who's bracketed, but there's going to be a penalty.
Some illegal contact about to be called here inside that route. It would not let Ulmer get deep. Del Rio throwing that one up.
Our white cap today, Daniel Gilman, is out there. Stuart Bader's our umpire. Our line judge, Benjamin Dwindle.
DeAndre Thorvet was coming on the blitz that last play. He did not get there. If Cherokee Trail's going to blitz, you better get to the quarterback. You better get to Del Rio.
Gave me enough time to be able to say the back judge's name here.
Before the pass was thrown, holding, defense, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, first down.
Remember, it's not NFL spot foul. It is 10 yards from where the ball was. Vince Rebdikoff is the back judge here. And Rich Chernicki, the other referee that is out there. Make sure we give those guys credit, certainly. First down and 10, they go from inside the 45 of Cherokee Trail. Whoop, ball's on the ground as they were running a little option read now. And McCaffrey's going to be upended at the 45, at the 49-yard line. And in on the play, that's Anthony Murray coming up from his safety spot.
So we had them in the pro set, offset eye, and Del Rio ran out from under center to the sideline, bolted to the sideline like he was going to be sub four, shotgun snap to McCaffrey, and then he and Ulmer just kind of have a mishap on that attempted handoff, and that play did not work at all. I don't think that's how they drew it up.
Cherokee Trail's seen that on film before, somewhere, certainly. McCaffrey goes in motion around the right side, and they will look for Del Rio to go up top. Got a man deep there, too deep. Looking for Ulmer down the far side. He got behind the DB.
And they had him bracketed, corner to the outside, safety to the inside, and Ulmer ran in between them. He had the end zone in front of him and nothing else. And right now, Luke Del Rio needs to maybe just take a breath, calm down. Looks like the adrenaline is flowing. He's been a little long on a few of his passes. He just needs to get back in rhythm. But that was there. That was going to be the first score of the game if that's in place.
Jackson Burrell was the closest defender to him, and he was running like crazy to try to catch up. Here we go. Third down and 14 now from the 48 of Cherokee Trail. Shotgun trips to the right side, and now flags fly.
Delay game.
Dead ball foul, delayed. Offense, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Again, we talked about it. Down in Colorado Springs at all the district stadiums, they have play clocks. They don't have play clocks here in high school for Denver and really for most of the high schools. But you do have a back judge who raises a hand with 5 seconds left to go. Here we go. Run to the left side. McCaffrey's got it, picking his way through. 42, and he's finally going to be stopped there and pulled out of bounds. Thomas Thorpe, one of the players, up on it, along with Anthony Murray coming up.
Well, and that play was spread out really well. Just the quick pitch to McCaffrey, and as he ran inside towards the left side of his line, he just found a lot of green in front of him. And he made an interesting decision towards the end. Instead of cutting inside his blocker's hip, went to the outside. That allowed the DB to peel off and grab him right around the waist, stop the run right there.
4th and 8, punt time. McCaffrey does the punting too, rugby style, and he will indeed punt this one away. And a great punt. Nobody back there to cover. Over, can't get there. The ball landed in the end zone. Well, a 42-yard punt, net of 22, though. 8:21 left to go here in the first quarter. Let's go down and check with Reed Fisher on the sideline.
All right, thanks, guys. I think this so far has to be considered a victory for Cherokee Trail. 2 defensive series, they've gotten a turnover and a punt. Now let's see if their offense can get on the scoreboard. But I think so far this is shaping up to be a very competitive contest.
We talked about it in the pregame a little bit. It could feel like it for a while. You got to stay with it. Johnson from the shotgun here, as he will keep it himself now, and is upended at the 25-yard line. Got submarine that time as he just followed between his guard and tackle.
Yeah, but that's exactly what Cherokee Trail needs. To me, that's going to be the real test here. Can you pick up 4 or 5 yards on first down? Can you keep your offense in the play calling that they're comfortable with? And that's a victory. That's a small victory for Cherokee Trail right now. But again, you've got to keep it sustained.
Big guys up front, certainly making some of the moves. You got to run away from Gilbert. Look at a pass now as he throws over the middle. Scooped up off the grass. Did he make the catch? He did at the 39-yard line. And that is, I believe, Thompson on the catch.
Yeah, a little seam route right there. He got right in front of the linebacker. And a good job. Low throw. Great job. Good set of hands there by the receiver for Cherokee Trail.
Yeah, that was Smith, actually. Cameron Smith. 26-28. Those guys, they'll slide Smith into the slot and put Thomas out there at running back. So up to the 39 and a pickup of 14 yards. Now a sweep and a toss sweep to Smith, who will get it again around the left side. Not a lot of room there. Gets to about the 42. He'll get 3.
Yeah, 3.5. Little flinch by one of the defensive linemen for Valor. No flag, though, shown. So refs letting him play here. I don't think anyone's going to complain about that. And we'll see. Now 2nd and 7. Again, you need about another 3 or 4 yard gain, I think, for Cherokee Trail to stay comfortable. We saw the last time they had a 3rd and 7. Just couldn't seem to open up what they wanted to, and this Valor defense is very fast.
Far side hash mark. Johnson's again in the shotgun here. It is Smith on his hip left side. Man in motion. Play action to him. Johnson got all day until Gilbert gets to him at the 34-yard line. And actually, a blitz coming in from the side there. Boy, he waited for it until the very last minute. Avila got to him.
Yeah, that was the problem there, is that Johnson had a chance to throw. He was given initial time, and the blitz pickup was received for him. Zach Mayo trying to come in, the linebacker, and blitz him, and it was picked up well by the outside blockers, but once Johnson hesitated, it was done.
It was Gilbert's side, but Avila timed it perfectly. Rolling right now. Johnson hit as he throws it. He goes up top. Caught by Barry, and down he goes at the 31-yard line. We've got a flag in the middle of the secondary over there. On the coverage was Eric Lee, right over the shoulder that time of Barry. We'll have to see what the flag's about.
Yeah, I have no idea what this could be. It's in the secondary around the 44-yard line. We're going to have some sort of illegal, I guess, a hold back there, but great job. Great job by Cherokee Trail, and specifically that receiver that time. I can't believe he caught the ball. I mean, he just gained enough separation right at the end to get that catch, and a good job. Great pass.
Holding defense. The penalty is declined. Result of the play is a first down.
Brandon Berry looks up, and as the defensive back is literally in his kitchen, it drops over that defensive back's helmet, and he just reached out and made the catch.
Boy, Eric Johnson got pummeled back there, too, as soon as he let that ball go. So he's going up under center, eye set, slot right, and they'll move Thomas around the left side, give it off to Smith, up the middle, breaks the tackle, tries to get to the outside, brought down at the 23-yard line. David Corral will make the tackle coming up from his linebacker spot.
Wow, nice run by Smith, but boy, he's got to tuck that ball away. He had reached back as he tried to make a move on a defender, and the tackler that came from behind, the linebacker, got his hand in there, nearly ripped that ball free as that arm, he nearly put the ball right in his stomach as he reached back.
Picked up 7, 5:41 to go in the first quarter. It's 2nd and 3 now from the Valor 23-yard line. Somebody moved.
I think our receiver to the outside, got a quick start on his route.
Before the ball was snapped, false start. Offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Okay, if the adrenaline wasn't flowing before, now you've got an opportunity to take the lead on the team that everybody says it's going to be really hard to beat. You've got to slow that heartbeat down just a little bit here and take care of business.
Well, you're right about that, and then you got to sustain it. You can't get too jacked up either. I mean, you see Valor already seems pretty emotionally leveled out.
5-yard penalty puts him back at the 28-yard line. 2nd and 8 here. Johnson will give it off to Smith, going left side. Not a lot of room there as he'll take it to about the 27-yard line. Again, trying to find a way to get Smith into it. Nick Regali is the guy who really plugged up that hole.
Yeah, that little false start didn't seem like a big deal at the time, but now you go from 2nd and 8 to 3rd and 7. And again, not really your full arsenal of plays here, although they've had some success throwing the football. Certainly a nice pass that last time they put it in the air.
Just needs 7. Got to get it inside the 20 from the shotgun. Johnson, bunch package left side. He's rolling that way. Looking left now. Goes up over the top, looking for Barry, and he throws it over the top. Much better coverage by Eric Lee that time, although on the 35-yard catch, it was pretty good coverage. He was in his hip pocket. But that time, it was really Johnson throwing it away.
Well, and Johnson and Barry didn't see the same thing. You might be absolutely right. Maybe he did just throw that one away because Barry had leveled out his route and was looking like he was going to go towards the corner or the front corner of the end zone at the very least. And Johnson threw that one like he was going to go deeper towards the goalpost.
Ryan Winke is the kicker. He also plays on the defensive side of things. He has a very good foot. They will spot this down at the 33-yard line. A 43-yard attempt inside the right hash. Kick is up. It's blocked. It is blocked. And now scooped up in the backfield. And Mayo's thinking about taking one back. Live ball. They'll take it to about the 27-yard line there. So they really take it back to where the original line of scrimmage is anyway. In high school, if the ball hadn't been blocked, if it had just been no good, the ball would be moved back to the 20-yard line essentially for Valor. Let's go down to Reed Fisher here.
All right, thanks, guys. You know, that was a good drive by Cherokee Trail, although a great job on the pump on the field goal block there by Valor Christian. That's the type of play in this game that can be a big momentum swing. Cherokee Trail had an opportunity to, even if they get a field goal, take the lead. Now for Valor, that puts the momentum back in their corner. I think you guys have touched on it. I don't think it's any secret that Valor's the favorite here. Cherokee Trail cannot afford a lot of plays like that.
I think that's very true. 4:25 left to go here in the first quarter. Well, you put it back on your defense now.
They've been up to the task so far. But again, Valor, as you guys kind of laid out, it's not a one-quarter game, not a one-drive game, not anything against Valor. You got to bring it the whole game. So they're going to continue to be challenged. But Cherokee Trail has had a good start to this. They should at least feel confident. They should feel like, if nothing else, you can play at these guys. I think sometimes that's important for an underdog in a championship game. But Valor, you just got to wonder. They can explode on you in any minute. And again, they had a missed opportunity of their own down here in that last drive where Del Rio was just a little too long for Omer. But other than that, I don't know. It's a tough task. But the secondary definitely could be up to it for Cherokee Trail. We'll just see. It's so hard to make anything out of the early going of any of these games. You and I have seen games where they're tied at the half and then it's a runaway in the second half. So, yeah. Again, it's an all-day proposition, especially when you're dealing with a dominant force like Valor is. And there's just no other way to put it. You just look at the benches. There's such a stark contrast between the two benches here. Valor has enough for a couple more football teams on their bench, and Cherokee Trail at least has half the bench that Valor has, I would say.
Yeah. Cherokee Trail has come from behind a few times this season. But I certainly know that they'd like to play with the lead.
They came from behind last week just to get here.
They did, to beat Ralston Valley in what was a fantastic semi.
Let's be honest about it. They have some reason to feel good and be confident. A lot of people didn't think they'd get past Ralston Valley. They've already kind of faced this storyline before.
Yeah, I think they have. It's old hat for them. 4:25 to go in the first quarter here. First down and 10 for Valor Christian. Right side hash mark, and it's an eye set behind Del Rio as they go from the 28-yard line to McCaffrey. Bounces to the outside, stays on his feet, pushed toward the sideline at the 34-yard line.
He just has nifty feet, doesn't he? He just keeps them going. Little slight movements here. Not a guy that's going to give you the Madden-style cut, although a little wiggle there on that play as we watch the replay. A little wiggle in the hips as he made a defender miss.
Yeah, you talk about planting that foot and getting somewhere. Here we go. Quickly to the line they go. And up the middle with it to the 40-yard line. They're going to get that first down. That is Hawkins. Both of them can stick their noses inside the tackles here, certainly, but they do love to try to get Hawkins right up the middle on that quick hitter.
Yeah, well, it's, again, something if that play isn't going to be indicative of what happens the rest of the day, it's going to be a long day because there was a lot of push out of that Valor offensive line on that running play. They had Cherokee Trail defenders push 3-4 yards off the ball.
Picked up 7 here. They're going to reset power side, left side, and Del Rio pitches back to McCaffrey. They go student body left here as he tries to get outside. Not a lot of room, maybe 3 yards that time. Jackson Burrell coming up from his linebacker spot. 1 of 3 that got there.
Anthony Murray, the defensive back, had hopped in there as well and grabbed the football, ripped it out of McCaffrey's hands towards the end of the play as Burrell made the tackle, and then he wanted to make sure he handed it to the ref, just kind of put it in his mind, hey, I'm going for that football today. You see one come free, give me a break.
3 carries, 14 yards for Christian McCaffrey to this point. Second down and a long 7. They go from the 43-yard line. Left side hash, a set here. Full house backfield to McCaffrey, who tries to duck inside. He'll get to the 45. Not a lot of room. Bring up a 3rd and 4 here as Evan White comes up from his safety spot to make the tackle.
Evan White got in there, and again, that's the big boys doing their job up front. Nobody really peeling off that initial level of blockers and getting out to take on the linebackers. That was Christian McCaffrey's job, and he was met in the hole, and that ended the run play. Good tackling that time by Cherokee Trail. Not as much penetration for that offensive line of Valor.
3rd and 5 from their own 45. Del Rio's in the shotgun now. Trips to the right side. Hawkins on his hip to the right as well. Looking left now. Caught there. That's Ulmer. Brought down immediately at the 45-yard line. It'll be a first down. Murray on the coverage.
I got to imagine Ulmer's had a conversation or two with Ed McCaffrey, our color analyst for the Bronco games. That time, the defensive back giving him 5 yards. He knew where the sticks were. He just turned around and received the pass, and cannot give him that much space on a 3rd down play.
A lot of cushion there, huh? Clock's running, 2:08 left to go. Now we're going to stop the clock. This will be an official's.
I think we've got a broken chin strap. That time, smart move by Anthony Murray. He went over and showed the official that he had an equipment problem. The official blew it dead on the Valor sideline and allowed him to get off the field. He's taken his helmet off and handed to his coach. That's got to be a broken chin strap. But Murray's been big for them. They need to get him back in the game.
Mason Bodie will come in for him. Don't have that chin strap up, you get a penalty in high school football. Full house, direct snap to McCaffrey. Here's he tries to go right. It is sniffed out as Caleb Burnham comes in.
Caleb Barnum was so quick that not only did he blow that play up, there's going to be a holding call because the offensive lineman just tried to grab his jersey and rip him back, and the refs threw the flag. So now you get your choice. Do you want the loss on the play and the loss of down, or do you want to push him back 10 yards and let him go for first down again?
Yeah, it was a first down play, so not a bad idea to move him back in the spot where he tried to tackle him was back at the 48.
Holding. Offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
Now, I'm telling you, Barnum might as well be credited with that loss of 10 yards, too, because he caused both to happen. He got to McCaffrey and was going to bring him down for loss, but again, so quick, he forced the obvious holding for all to see.
So 1st and 24 here. They'd have to get inside the Cherokee Trail 35. They're going from their own 41. Del Rio's in the shotgun now. And a timeout coming here.
Timeout. Valor, their first.
All right, so Valor Christian will take the timeout. You don't really have a play on 1st 24.
Well, I don't think you like the setup either. You want to make sure that everybody knows what they're doing. I think when the team, we kind of saw this in the 4A game, when the team comes out here and costs out the timeout as well, you come out and guys aren't definitive about where they're going to. That gives you some suggestion that your guys don't really know what the play is, and you want to talk that one over.
Reed, what are you seeing down there on the sidelines?
Well, the defense of Cherokee Trail, I'm actually pretty impressed with their speed. They're able to match Valor pretty well side to side. Valor has not been able to really break a big play against them yet. The speed of their defense may give them a chance. And I think it's interesting, Cherokee Trail, I think it's only 3 games this year they've given up more than 18 points. So far, that might actually hold true here.
Yeah, you and Marty Cesario told us both. You educated all the listeners about how fast this Cherokee Trail defense is, not only in this pregame show, but on Primetime Sports this past Thursday.
So they'll go from the 41-yard line. Valor Christian with the ball. I set, base set, basically. Del Rio will move a man to the right side, make it slot right now. Play action, Del Rio's looking over the middle, now looks right over the middle. It is tipped. He was looking for McCaffrey, I believe, right over the middle that time, and guess who? Big 44 Barnum got up and tipped it.
Well, he had a receiver that headed out to the flat. I'm trying to get that number. I think it was Darryl Hawkins. Hawkins had snuck out into the flats.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Sorry, Ulmer was the intended receiver.
Yeah, well, it was tough to tell because of the way it got tipped. But you're right, on replay, you could see Ulmer was the one he was trying to thread the needle to.
Barnum read the eyes of Del Rio. Delayed draw. Now Hawkins will get it as he tries to step his way through to the 45-yard line as he's brought down there. He stayed home, basically. Cherokee Trail stayed in there.
Well, we'll see what you've got drawn up for 3rd and 20. Maybe you just run a draw play, hope for a penalty that advances you in enough yardage, or maybe an automatic first down.
Got about 4 out of that one, so 3rd and 20 coming here. By the way, the tackle made by Jacob Martin, that middle linebacker there. So Del Rio's in the shotgun, trips to the right side. Ball's in the middle of the field now. Twins left, shovel pass to McCaffrey. He is spun down and spun forward to the 48-yard line. Valor will have to punt again.
Ryan Winkie knew right away what the play was. He came in as a defensive end, just took 2 steps, waited, and when McCaffrey came over, he was there to lower his shoulder right into the chest of the Valor running back and force him down. They only picked up 3 on that play, and again, Cherokee Trail's defense stands tough.
Well-designed play until 87 stepped in the way. McCaffrey will punt here. Straightaway punt this time. Line drive punt here to the near side. Taken at the 15-yard line and now trying to get to the outside edge. Currington not going to get there. He'll take it to about the 16.
Number 10, Cameron Currington.
Well, that was a little bit more of your traditional punt, I guess you would say, out of Christian McCaffrey. The last time we saw him punt, it was a shorter yardage situation. He went running towards that line of scrimmage like he had on his mind, maybe faking it and going for the first down before he punted it. That Christian McCaffrey is just... he's such a football player, such a threat. I'm sure coaches are going to be happy when he graduates like his brother.
Reed Fisher on the sideline quickly.
All right, well, Cherokee Trail here could use a really long drive here. We saw some of those in the 4A game. See what they can do here.
All right, they go from their own 18-yard line now as they hand it off, and there is nothing doing for Cameron Smith over that left side, and that is Ryan Cummings, one of the blue shirts to get in there. And Stanley Gilbert, the stalwart there on that side as well.
Cherokee Trail looks like they're satisfied with their quarter of work, and as the clock hits 0, we'll see what they have planned in the second quarter here.
They'll have 2nd and 13 when we come back here. End of the first, no score in the 5A title game. Valor and Cherokee Trail at 850 KOA. There you go. You right, Rich? Yeah. Yeah. Will do. Thank you.
Dubas of the Denver Post. Bill Moran, Wells Fargo. Bill Swords, AT&T Mobility. Peggy Dollar.
take any spotlight away from the game, but if there's an opportunity to grab one of them, I may give it a try.
He'll try to get his hands on Jack and or John down there.
Good luck. I think it's unlikely. They don't like to chat during games, but that doesn't mean don't try. Yep. And welcome back to Sports Authority Field at Mile High. Nothing our score as we start the second quarter of the 5A championship game. Cherokee Trail does have possession of the football and a 2nd and 13 staring them in the face. Interesting numbers out of that first quarter. Luke Del Rio, the more ballyhooed quarterback, but he just has 13 yards on 3 of 13 passing. Johnson for Cherokee Trail, Eric Johnson, 49 yards passing already. So we'll see if they can change the trend there.
Yeah. Big pass to Brandon Berry. They'd like to hook up on more of those. Right now, 2nd and 13 from their own 15-yard line here. From the shotgun again for Johnson. Thomas, no, it'll stay with Johnson. He'll keep it on the read as Sherman Thompson actually ran around that right side, but it was Johnson who kept it and got about 3 out of it.
Cherokee Trail is a running football team if you're not familiar with them, despite the fact we've seen some nice passing out of their quarterback already and some receivers seeming up to the task as far as making some plays for their guy. Now we're going to have a timeout. For
Cherokee Trail. They're first.
A big 3rd down and 11 here, so... Well, the thing about how these teams got here, first of all, as the seeding goes, the top seed was Thunder Ridge. Well, Cherokee Trail or Valor, that is, was able to take care of business against them. Valor, the 4th seed coming in, beat Legacy pretty handily, beat Regis very handily, 44-3, and then beat Arapahoe in what was a bit of a dogfight early, 49-18. Most points that they had given up in quite some time, and then they go in against Thunder Ridge and beat them 49-3. And I think that's one of the reasons because Joe Johnson's Grizzlies were playing so well this season that everybody says, wow, I'm not sure that Cherokee Trail can hang with Valor because of what they did to Thunder Ridge.
Yeah, what's funny, though, is that many thought that Ralston Valley was the best left to face Valor. They were the number 2 seed. Many thought that they would be the one that would get here and face them and put up such a great fight. And Cherokee Trail did take them down, so maybe that's where you should give them their respect.
We'll check in with Reed Fisher after this play here. Shotgun time on 3rd and 11. Johnson sliding pocket, caught, and first down here on the near side as he finds Thomas on the near side. There's a flag out there, though.
See, this is going to be interesting. The receiver crossed in as the other crossed out. I think we're going to have offensive pass interference, which is going to wipe this out. It was a good play, but you can't run in and just go throw blocks to get your guys open. Now, I looked down at the receivers late as they crossed each other up, but I believe I saw the shoulders drop for the Cherokee Trail receiver, which would lead to that interference. That's how he got wide open. As you look there, you see the contact, and I think that's more of a block. And you hear and see, we see the Valor the Valor players clapping. Our officials gone over to ask them what they want to do, and I think that's going to wipe out the first down.
It's a rub if it's the offense that's talking about it. It's a pick if the defense is talking about it.
Pass interference, offense. We'll go half the distance to the goal. Loss of down. It's 4th down.
So apparently it was a pick.
Yeah, well, believe me, it looked like a basketball pick.
So half the distance to go, puts it back at the 8-yard line. As you heard, loss of down as well. So punting situation, dangerous situation here for Joshua Walchert and Cherokee Trail now, as Walchert will be standing back on the end of the Broncos in the end zone. Valor will put 2 players back to return this when Paulson is back there with McCaffrey. Snap's a good one, and he'll get it away. It's end over end, very short to the right side. Bounds at the 30, headed toward the sideline. Out it goes at about the 33-yard line, and Valor will have fantastic position here inside Cherokee Trail territory. 11:08 to go here in the first half. We'll take a quick timeout. No score. The 5A state championship game on 850 KOA.
Guys, I can take it out of this break if you'd like.
I like it.
If you want, let me know.
Their prescription? I didn't know the Terminator needed prescription glasses. Look at those.
That's Mark Stout there. Anybody that, Mark Stout's in the booth big time. Big time.
I know. I hate turning those things off. I'd rather just leave them on.
Yeah, Reed, we're good with you.
Very good.
I'll tell you what, my job would be easier if Mark Stout from Root Sports wasn't always big time in everybody he ran across.
That's right. Mark Stout.
It's not the worst. It's not the worst lie about Mark Stout that's floated on the internet.
There we go. Should have him come down and wave to everybody on the web. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Welcome back to Sports Authority Field at Mile High. 5A championship game, second quarter. No score between Cherokee Trail and Valor Christian. 11:08 to go, second quarter. Guys, this sideline down here is a who's who of Broncos personnel. To my right, I've got Jack Del Rio, the Broncos defensive coordinator. He is a very nervous papa watching his son play. It's kind of funny watching him. It's kind of like he has his coaching hat on watching these plays. Also down here, John Elway and Carl Mecklenburg. So kind of a celebrity Bronco crowd down here to watch this game, guys.
And you know what? It's tough to get them to talk to you about because they want all of the focus to be on their kids and the student athletes for Valor. So it's very cool though. But you're right, it's very celebrity heavy when you go to Valor games, home or on the road. Shotgun time for Del Rio. Looks into the right side, caught and dropped immediately at the 30-yard line as Paulson will make the catch. And Bailey, Markeith Bailey, who is actually a transfer from Valor, makes the tackle.
And John Elway doesn't have a rooting interest. He's just watching the field condition right now.
That's what he's doing, yeah. I don't blame him. Big game tomorrow. Tampa Bay coming in. Check with Reed on the condition of the field here. We've already had one game on it. We'll have a second one. See, it doesn't look too bad out there. Del Rio rolling now, in trouble, rolling here to the right side. Comes back and fires it. Oh, it's nearly picked off. Bailey, or that is Burrell, had his hands on it that time as Del Rio was in trouble. He wanted to go to the left side, peeled back here to the right side, and an ill-advised throw.
How about the big fella, Derek Torrance? He was the one applying the pressure, and just as quickly as Del Rio changed directions, Torrance did too. Have a cut, big man.
I like it.
Normally, you get those guys that are as wide as he is, it's like turning the boat around. That wasn't the case. He just shifted right the other way. That was impressive.
Very nimble for a big guy. 10:25 to go here in the first half. Third down and 6 now. Shotgun, they'll fire it out there. Got a man open, too deep. It was Ulmer who got behind the DB that time, and Del Rio threw a frozen rope all the way to the far sideline over his head.
That is twice now that Valor could have put touchdowns on the board, and they missed First time Del Rio threw too long. That time Ulmer, you know what, I wonder, he came out of the sun and into the shade. You wonder if he didn't have sunspots in his eyes trying to find that football. It looked like it just snuck through his hands.
Anthony Murray on the coverage. Murray tried to jump the route, and Ulmer nearly made him pay. 4th and 6, they'll go for it here from the 29-yard line. Got to get to the 23 from the shotgun. Del Rio looks. He's in trouble now. Escapes one. Hit as he throws, and it is incomplete. Tried to dump it off to McCaffrey. Bailey hits McCaffrey as the ball arrives. Del Rio was going down as he was trying to make the throw.
Well, great pressure, good blitz, nice delayed blitz. Pressure from all sorts of Cherokee Trail defenders. Ultimately, getting kind of the contact there on Del Rio was Caleb Barnum, but credit Del Rio for getting rid of the football. I thought he was going down. He still nearly pulled that play off.
10-16 to go, no score here. Cherokee Trail gets it back. Reed Fisher on the sideline.
Guys, that was a huge defensive stand for Cherokee Trail. Valor had an opportunity with the short field to get a go-ahead touchdown. Good job by the Cherokee Trail defense to stand tall there.
Surprised they went for it on 4th and 6, Andy. As from the shotgun, Johnson now has a little time, throws it over the middle, sitting down, first down. Berry will make the catch at the 39-yard line.
I think he'd be a little bit short, close to the sticks, but I think where they put him down, I think he needed the yard line. I think they're going to call it 2nd down and 1, but yeah, he needed to actually get to the hash mark there, and it's just inside it, but nice play either way.
A lot of things you do on 2nd and less than 1. So we put it at the 38-yard line. I set behind Johnson, who gets up behind center now. Slot right. Barry's in that slot. They give it off to Smith. Cameron Smith off guard. And Gilbert's got a hold of his waist trying to pull him back. They'll give him forward progress to the 39 and near first.
He didn't get it by Gilbert. Much. Yeah.
The old bear hug trying to pull him out of the pile.
Gilbert's a big boy, too.
First down. They move the chains.
Some beef up front for Valor, but so far Cherokee Trail giving their man plenty of time to throw in Eric Johnson.
So just outside their 39. Johnson will go from the shotgun here. Twins either side. Balls just on the left side. Pro hash mark now. Long set. Blitz is coming. They got him to jump into the neutral zone. No, they didn't. End around. Thomas tries to get there, and he'll be wrapped up on that far side. Ulmer over there.
Around the right side.
And you can see Marcus Wilson on the play as well.
I got to admit, I'm surprised the flag did not fly there. Valor had a couple guys jump in 2 waves. The first wave, that defender did get back. The second wave, I thought the defender was caught with his foot in the neutral zone, but the line judges didn't see it that way.
Whistles come a lot faster in high school. They'll give you a little bit of leadway, but I was just as surprised as you were. Brings up 2nd down and 6 as Cherokee Trail goes for the far side hash. Shotgun time. Johnson's got it. Can't find anybody. Wants to run with it. Breaks one tackle and now will fall forward to near the 46-yard line.
Johnson is slippery, isn't he? Got out of about 3 different tackles that time. First off, a blitz comes from the wide side defensive back. Good job by his fullback to hop over and take on that blitzing defender. Then Johnson broke contain, got outside, cut back inside to all the traffic, and just snuck his way past a couple of guys to get a couple yards.
He ran smack dab into Nick Regali and was able to get away. So the ball from the 47 now. Johnson looking to throw right side, and it is caught there. The foot stays down. What a great catch on the far side. And that is Cameron Smith.
I think right now Cherokee Trail's maybe just throwing more than Valor expected. They're throwing more than I expected after all the things I had heard.
Moving the chains. They go now from the Valor 48-yard line. And we take a look at the replay. Smith made a pro catch there. Got both feet down. Shotgun time again. Twins either side. Reset the slot man coming across. Johnson's going to keep it himself. Quarterback keeper as he tries to slip to the outside. Now, nearly lost that ball. They'll give him progress to the 44-yard line there as he's wrapped up by Falls.
Good job of following his blocking. Basically got in behind the convoy that was the left side of his line and picked up as the blocking allowed, but if he'd have cut inside where he made the final cut outside, he might have found a few more yards and gotten closer to the stick.
You and I both thinking with a running back's mentality. I was thinking the same thing. Got 4 there, about 3 there actually. 2nd and 6, ball outside the Valor 44. Left side hash, Thomas in motion. Play action, Johnson's got it as he looks to go deep. He wants to get it all. Up top, it's off the helmet of the defender on the far side over there. He was looking for Barry, and again, well covered by Eric Lee.
You hear a little bit of booing in the background. Cherokee Trail fans wanting a pass interference flag on the defensive back for Valor Christian. He never whipped his head around. That was number 22 there, Eric Lee, but I think that was just good coverage by Lee. He never contacted or face guarded the receiver. He just did his job, so I think it's a good no call by the officials.
Took a shot on 2nd and 6, now 3rd down. Johnson's got it, rolling right side on the run. Caught him on the far side, sliding down at the 35. First catch today for Dominic Grady. The junior will haul it in.
You know what? You talk about heart. There's some of it on display there. You're playing in the championship. You want to make sure you get your feet in bounds. Hardy went ahead and made the reception and just allowed his feet to slide out from underneath them to make sure they dragged down in bounds and took a hard hit on his hip as he went down. He could have kept himself from that hard impact, but wanted to make sure he had the catch.
First down and 10, right side hash mark now. And flags will go. Somebody jumped. They'd moved Sherman Thomas again in motion from the slot on the left side. They like to fake it to him from time to time. Thomas broke an 80-yarder last week.
Before the ball was snapped. False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
What I'm saying is you can't go to sleep on the fake.
No, you certainly can't, but I'm finding it interesting inside the lines there. I mean, this is, again, it's going to be closely called like we saw in 4A where there's some movement that I didn't detect.
First down, 15 from the 40. Might have been a little movement there. Oh, yeah. Just thrown to that right side, and a linebacker jumped out on that one. He was actually looking again toward that right side. David Corral was actually on the coverage that time of Grady.
Carlos Aviles jumping out into that throwing lane as well. He's the one that I really thought, you named the coverage. I thought Aviles was going to pick it and take it the other way.
Reading the eyes, wasn't he? So 2nd and 15 now from the 40 of Valor. Shotgun again for Eric Johnson. He's been there most of the time. Twins either side. H-back standing at that left side. That is Belt rolling right. Johnson going to go up top and really throws that one away as again Barry was down there double covered. Johnson didn't have anybody else on that right side that was open.
Yeah, he had no choice. He had one receiver really in the route. Nobody short opened up and he had to roll away from pressure. They rolled that pocket that time, so he was working with about 15 yards of space between the number and the boundary, and the pass rushers were coming fast and fierce, so he just decided to put that one too long for everybody and live to play another down.
Still need to get that ball another 10 yards before you think about attempting maybe another field goal. Winky had a field goal blocked, a 43-yard attempt. Now it's 3rd and 15 from the 40. Pitch and around. Currington trying to make his way down, just driving the legs. Not much there. So get to maybe the 37-yard line as a pile of blue shirts pile on top of Currington.
Here comes one of these interesting calls. We saw a lot of these tweener plays in the 4A state championship game that preceded this game, and that ball is going to be spotted at about the 37-yard line of Valor. Cherokee Trail doesn't look like they're making any sort of punting formation substitutions into their huddle, because likely if you punt the ball, you're probably just going to give it to them at the 20, which is only gaining 17 yards anyway. But I don't know what you do here. I mean, do you have an offense? We know your offense is more of a run-style offense, and then you need 13 yards. I wonder if Johnson just doesn't give him the little quick kick here.
Yeah.
Try to down it without any return threat back there. Now he backs up. This is definitely going to be a quick kick, and that gets Valor to burn another timeout.
Timeout. Valor, their second.
6:14 to go here in this first half. Let's send it down to Reed Fisher on the sideline.
Well, guys, just picking up on what you were talking about there, that's exactly what Cherokee Trail was going to do on that play, and that's why Valor called the timeout. The coaches want to make sure they're ready for that, and actually that's not a bad strategy, because with no kick returner back there, you have a chance to pin them inside the 10-yard line, but you're right, a regular punt would probably just net a touchback. But I think that's a good strategy for Cherokee Trail, because I don't think there's a lot of 4th and 13 plays in any team's playbook.
Well, and as Reed says that, and we're all in agreement, agreement. It would have made for a good strategy if not for the timeout. Eric Johnson now has taken a place next to the coach on the sideline. He's standing on the boundary and now in the white of his bench area. So they're going to come out with the traditional punter and just see what they can do. But see, I like that play. I'd have got it off quicker. I wouldn't have backed up if I was Eric Johnson. That's easily to say here because I'm sitting up in the booth where no one's pressuring me. But again, any chance not to have Max McCaffrey or Christian McCaffrey back there, as a threat is a good advantage for your team. And now McCaffrey is back there, so you might even be well served just punting it through the end zone at this point if your guy can do it.
Yeah. Coffin corner maybe, shank one to the right side, but don't let McCaffrey have it. Chaz Paulson's there. Whoa, high snap, but Welcher will get it away. High driving punt down near the goal line, and it will bound in. Got plenty of altitude on it that time, but again, as we say that, it's a 40-yard punt, and it's a net of 20.
Well, it was good placement, nice high arc, dropped right where he wanted to. The nose of the football spiked right at the 2-yard line, but then it took that massive hop right through the back of the end zone.
Quick timeout here, 6:06 to go in the first half. No score. Valor will have the ball when we come back to the 5A state championship game on 850 KOA. Thank you. 12 plays on that one, buddy.
I can take this out if you guys would like.
Okay, Ray, 12 plays on that drive there. They got nothing.
Thank you.
By the way, as you're watching here, we should introduce, it's me. I think you've heard my name once or twice already. Andy here. My wife, Nikki Lopez, is down there actually statting for us. So that's our idea of a date night or date afternoon. Matter of fact, we do this just about every time for.
And Andy Lindahl incorrectly stated that he's not receiving any pressure in the booth. I am attempting to deliver pressure.
Very nice. Shannon Scott, who waves every once in a while back behind us.
Okay.
One of the largest sporting goods manufacturers in the world.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Class 5A state championship game. Reed Fisher down on the field, Corey Lopez and Andy Lindahl up in the booth. We got a great game here. 0-0 Cherokee Trail and Valor Christian. 6:06 to go in the second quarter. And guys, Valor Christian backed up at their own 20 here. But so far, the Cherokee Trail defense has stood up. We'll see if we get any of these big plays for Valor we keep hearing about.
Well, I'll tell you what, stats pretty even up to this point. Cherokee Trail, by the way, that a 12-play drive before they ended up having to punt it away. 5 first downs for Cherokee Trail. Valor with 4 first downs. Cherokee Trail leads in time of possession here. They've had the ball 10 minutes, 37 seconds compared to Valor with 7 minutes and 9 seconds here. The last 6:06 to go here in this first half. I would imagine that Coach Bieselmeyer, his staff, and the offense would like to hang on to this football, take it down there, put it in the end zone here, and finally break the goose eggs that are up on the board.
Yeah, you want to feel good about something going into the half, and right now I think Cherokee Trail has that.
Handoff here, a little delayed draw as McCaffrey is brought down. He got maybe a football length across the 20-yard line. Well played by the defense that time as Nick Bolgolski comes up to make the tackle from his down lineman's spot, although he's a little hobbled.
Elijah Blacken on the tackle for the Cougars.
We're now at 5:45 and counting. And to be quite honest with you, Corey, I mean, don't go to sleep on Valor. They could explode at any moment. Cherokee Trail's played a good first half, but they've got to finish the half.
Shotgun time for Luke Del Rio. Slot left. He's got Hawkins on his hip right side. McCaffrey's down at the bottom there, too. A little pump fake, and now they'll throw underneath. Caught there, and Falls will get about 5 yards to the 25-yard line. Lowering the boom on him was DeAndre Thordvet over there, along with Burrell.
And that's, I'm just so impressed with the way Cherokee Trail is playing. They're physical up front right now and closing well on the ball when it's thrown.
From the 25.
We'll see if Valor can't pick this up.
3rd and 5, trips left side, balls on the right side hash. Del Rio from the shotgun, looking to that left side. It's caught there, got the first down. As falling forward now is Paulson. Paulson had it and then suddenly kept churning the legs as the DB had a hold of him. He actually ended up picking up about 1.5 yards extra.
Yeah, I thought he might break containment too and take that one to the house. He had those legs churning. Looked like he would have had good speed as he just arm fought with the defender that tried to originally bring him down, and good job picking up the first down.
Well executed, thrown right on time. Del Rio from the shotgun again. And the ball at their 32 now. Looks here to the right side, throws it up top, and sailed a little bit. He was looking for Paulson. Oh, boy, and so was the DB, Thordbent, Thomas Thordbent. Didn't see it in time. It sailed a little bit on Del Rio.
Yeah, Jack, I'm going to keep calling him Jack. Luke Del Rio said something to one of his teammates. I think it was Marcus Wilson, his running back. I don't know if Wilson had swung out and said, hey, I was your safety valve option or not, but Del Rio patted his chest, but then also pointed to this intended receiver saying, I'm assuming I liked my look that I had over there.
Yeah. Notice that Del Rio now not holding the ball as long, trying to get it out on time. Under center now, they'll move Hawkins from the I set, trips to the right side. They get it to McCaffrey over there, got blockers in front, 40-yard line, bounce to the outside, ball's ripped out. And I think Cherokee Trail might be on top of it. There's a fight going on down at the 46-yard line for it. They're still digging, no official indication.
There's been about 5 Cherokee Trail players to jump up and celebrate, though.
There it is. Cougars have the football. Who was that ripped that ball out from behind?
It was one of the defensive backs that was initially blocked. Great block thrown early on by Daryl Hawkins. He was running in motion. Then you watch, I think 33 is the player that ripped it out for Cherokee Trail. Now, I don't know who recovered it in that pile, but the stripping player, if I'm not mistaken, was Jackson Burrell. And what a play. McCaffrey again bringing the ball back as he ran and left it open.
So here come the Cougars. Cherokee Trail, shotgun time. They hand off and end around, and whistles will blow here to stop the play. Let's go down to Reed Fisher.
Well, guys, you're right. It was Burrell that bumped that ball out there at the end of the play, and just great pursuit there.
False offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
All right, I wanted to make sure we got the penalty there, but just great pursuit there by the defense, and that's sometimes an aggressive defense trait, making sure you're always trying to knock that ball out.
Well, and good pursuit from behind because, again, Burrell was one of the players that was actually blocked on that play, on the initial screen play. It was very well designed and well executed up to the point of the strip.
It'll be 1st and 15 now from the 50. Shotgun for Johnson. Twins either side. He's looking to the right side. In a little bit of trouble now, and he's going to be sacked. Zach Mayo got to him back at the 41. My apologies, the 39.
Well, and now Cherokee Trail finds itself going in the wrong direction. Both defenses having something to celebrate, and this game's shaping up more like the 4A matchup where that was a defensive battle most of the day too. So Cherokee Trail's got to be careful. 3:58 and counting. You're now looking at second and forever. Second is $5 cab ride, 26 yards, something like that.
Eric Johnson, fleet of foot, but was sacked 3 times last week as well. Now pumps once, now rolling here to the near side, trying to set something up, got a man out there, caught, and he is crushed at the 49-yard line and will bounce back up. That's Thomas making the catch. Daryl Hawkins laying the wood.
We have a flag down for an eligible man downfield, and again, this is reminiscent in the same quarter of a drive-by South where they're trying to get some momentum going, and they killed themselves with 3 straight penalties. And right now, it's been penalty, sack, and penalty, and it's now about to become 2nd and 30-something by the time this is done. Illegal men downfield.
Middle screen was set up if you don't throw it on
Ineligible
time.
receiver downfield on the offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat 2nd down.
You get that. And Eric Johnson trying to make a little something out of nothing, but unfortunately the linemen don't know that. They're counting, waiting for the go signal, and away they go. So now from their own 34, 2nd and 31, shotgun for Johnson, and he will keep it off the left side, fall forward to about the 39-yard line, and that's as far as he's going to get.
Well, that gets them back to the original placement of their 2nd down, but only now it'll be 3rd down.
Yes. David Corral on the tackle that time.
Gain of 5 yards on the
But I will say this.
Yeah.
26.
The ball is not in the offensive hands of the Valor players, and that's still okay for Cherokee Trail.
Yeah, 2:50 to go here in the first half. Clock's running, third down and forever. Whoop, Johnson bobbled it for a moment from the shotgun. Now goes up top. Back shoulder. Barry can't hang on to it. And again, and my apologies, that's actually Evan White that time. And Lee was on the coverage again. Boy, Lee's had to cover Barry, and then Evan White this time. Little back shoulder throw, and White couldn't hang on to it.
Well, that was a case where White knew he was going to have to spin out of the tackle to pick up 5 more yards, and he probably thought, as he was right, I break this tackle, there's no one left to get me. Not only was he going to pick up the first down, he would have picked up 6, and just thinking about what you're going to do before you actually have the ball in your hand.
Cherokee Trail to punt here. McCaffrey and Polson back deep. Welcher, whoop, that one almost straight up in the air.
I think that one was blocked.
He had pressure coming at him. Well, they might have gotten it. I don't see any Valor guys jumping up and down. I really think that Welcher just got spooked by the pressure that was coming from that right side. We get a look at it here.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, a hand was out there, but it certainly wasn't enough that it made the ball do that. And he just missed that kick. He saw too many blue jerseys bearing down on him and just sent it right off the side of his foot and towards his coach on the sideline.
Jace Lemunion actually went underneath his leg after he punted the ball. That's how close everybody was. And Valor will have the ball at the 33-yard line of Cherokee Trail. Shotgun. Give it up the middle. There's McCaffrey. Still moving forward to about the 16-yard line. Oh, they lull you, and then they get you, and Anthony Murray saves the touchdown.
Yeah, that was the case where Christian McCaffrey was by half the defenders before they knew he had the football. They were still peeking in the backfield, and the outside was contained well. Good blocking by Valor, and I don't think that I've ever seen a turnover work against the team that recovered it more than that last one did for Cherokee Trail.
16 yards by McCaffrey. Now they've got it at the Cherokee Trail 17, middle of the field. Back to McCaffrey. Up the middle he goes, leaning forward to about the 13-yard line. As he bumps forward, Thornvent from his linebacker spot will get credit for part of the tackle.
It almost feels like maybe someone told the offensive coordinator for Valor Christian to quit throwing the ball and let's send a message here. McCaffrey going right off his center and guard last 2 plays, picking up significant yardage.
Second and a long 6. Ball outside the 13-yard line. They're in the red zone now. Shotgun for Del Rio. Hawkins on his hip. They'll slide. McCaffrey around right side. Back to pass. They set up the middle screen. Hawkins has it. Blocker out front. Runs into his blocker, and down he goes at the 13-yard line. Thornvet will get credit for the tackle.
But credit Anthony Murray for getting in there and blowing up the whole play. He outran from his corner position the convoy that was in front of the running back that time, and as they tried to get up there and get it set up. Again, it looked good right when Hawkins had received the football, but man, you've got some guys that showed up to play, and Anthony Murray's one of them for Cherokee Trail.
Big 3rd and 6 now from the 13. Shotgun for Del Rio. He moves Paulson in. Rolling to the right side. Pumps once. Looking to throw it up top. Back of the end zone. Too deep. That one's out of the end zone. Paulson, the intended receiver there, I believe.
Paulson is incomplete.
But nobody was catching that one. Del Rio just getting rid of it.
We had no time. He had no time. Cherokee Trail's got some big boys up front. They're helping to apply some pressure. It's been a fun battle to watch in the trenches between these two teams. They seem well matched. I wouldn't say one team's dominated the other. They're both just kind of having their turn on each given play as to who gains the advantage. And who would have thought we could be staring at a 3-0 score at halftime? That's assuming this field goal is converted.
It is Spencer who will do the duties here. Ball down at the 20. Snap's pretty good. Kick, the knuckle kick, it's no good. Looked a little something like what the Broncos kicker did last week. It just never spun at all. Reed Fisher got a pretty good eye on it, Reed.
They definitely got a hand on that one, and that makes up for the blocked field goal earlier from Valor Christian. Now that's even, and I think Cherokee Trail, even if they just run out the clock here at the end of the half, they have to be very happy going into halftime.
Boy, absolutely. I don't want to call it a moral victory because both teams have played well here, and we're seeing a good game. But for Cherokee Trail, you're right. You almost think about taking a knee here. Do you go with 55 seconds left? Sherman Thomas will get this one. He ducks forward to about the 22-yard line on the end around here. Very conservative call. Nobody's stopping the clock.
Yeah, I don't think you take the knee, and maybe Valor takes a couple timeouts to see what you've got in your playbook. So you don't want to do that, although they are down to just one timeout left, but they need to run some clock.
Sorry, Andy, they're quickly up to the line here now. Johnson under center. Yep, end around. Now to the left side, and this is Cameron Smith. He'll get to about the 23. Got both arms wrapped around that football. Clock down to 19, still moving.
I think a half well fought by Cherokee Trail. They're going to be in this. They're more than in this thing come the second half. And we'll see. Valor though, is going to make some adjustments, and Cherokee Trail's heading to their tunnel and their locker room.
Not snapping another one here. Halftime. Well, don't go away. No score, 2 blocked field goals, and we got a battle in the 5A state championship. Cherokee Trail and Valor Christian. Quick timeout. We'll come back here and talk about this one. But before we do that, let's send it down to Reed Fisher on the sideline.
All right, thanks. Here with Coach Brent Visselmeyer of Valor Christian. Coach, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, we weren't really good on offense. We played okay on defense. We just got to get some sustained drives. Can't turn the ball over. 2 turnovers are bad.
So, what's your on the heels of that? What's your halftime message?
Just do what we do. We'll be fine. We just got to do what we do.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck. All right, that's Coach Visselmeyer of Valor Christian, guys.
All right, thank you. Do what we do. Started to do a little bit of that, get back to running the ball in between the tackles, go a little bit more balanced. You thought maybe they threw the ball a little bit.
Well, I mean, they came out and they threw the ball, and Luke Del Rio has a good arm, so I can understand why you want to go that route. You've got good receivers, good skill position players, but they also were very physical for a couple plays there right up the middle. It worked to their advantage, and then when they went back to the air, this secondary of Cherokee Trail is so fast, I think it's making some of their guys uncomfortable on Valor.
All right, no score. Halftime. We'll come back and talk some more about this one. Got a good one. Cherokee Trail and Valor Christian. The 5A state championship game right here on 850 KOA. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry about the false cue there. I almost got you, didn't I? Yeah, that was awesome. So we got to, we'll do, you want to do first half stats, break, and an interview? We don't have anybody. You want to grab Devlin? Is Devlin here? Yeah. Grab Devlin again, kind of chat about this. Yeah. That's what we've been doing. Okay. You got to throw the news somewhere in there. You want to do quick, you want to do quick stats or? You can do a few quick stats. Quick stats, break, you go get Devlin. Do I need to throw the news then, Rich? Oh, okay. And how long is that? How long is that break? The traffic and weather. Oh, so there's news in there too. Well, what time? We got 3:45. Okay. 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 All right. Hey, well, I'll come back and do some stats here. Have a good time. Look at you. Thank you. Okay. That was good. It's good. Okay. Halftime here, no score. Valor Christian, Cherokee Trail. Who would have thunk it, huh? Well, anybody who follows high school football might have thunk it a little bit. Takes quite a bit to get to the finals here. We'll give you first half stats here. Take a short news break, and then we will talk with Neil Devlin coming up. So let's just run down. 2 turnovers by Valor Christian, and has hurt them, of course. Early in the game, they tried to take a shot as Luke Del Rio went deep. He is 8 for 16, just 63 yards. He's targeted 4 different guys, and Christian McCaffrey with 3 catches for 37 yards. But the 2 turnovers, Cherokee Trail has not been able to turn that around, though. 5 penalties for 34 yards has been big for the Cougars. It has really hurt them. On the other side of things, Eric Johnson, 5 for 11, 74 yards. The big one, a 35-yard pass to Brandon Berry, but they could not convert as Winky's kick, or field goal that is, was blocked. Time of possession, the Cougars have the lead, 13 minutes 35 seconds to 10 minutes 25 seconds. But first downs fairly even. Valor with 6, Cherokee Trail with 5. And a total offense pretty even. 119 yards for Valor, 96 yards for Cherokee Trail. That's why there aren't any points up on the board. So we've got a good one here, maybe a little unexpected for some. Told you that Cherokee Trail defense is pretty fast and pretty good. So's Valor's as well. Quick timeout. We'll come back after news. We talk with the Denver Post's prep sports writer, longtime sports writer. It is Neil Devlin. He'll join Andy next right here on 850 KOA.
All right, Neil, we'll do our normal deal. Rich, how many more breaks you got to fit in so we don't... So technically we have 9 minutes of break time, and there's 9 minutes on the clock, which is what they did to us last time. I know, they'll add 3 more. Yeah, I mean, we can always crush it at the end. I'm going to spend about 3 minutes here with Neil, so you may have to get rid of both of them, you may not. We'll see what they put back on the clock.
But did you catch the other part? There's traffic or weather here or news or something, Andy?
Right, he's got a 5-minute break. If this is the last break we get in, we can live with it. We'll make it work. Yep. And welcome back to Sports Authority Field at Mile High. Andy Lindahl, Corey Lopez, Reed Fisher bringing you this 5A championship game between Cherokee Trail and Valor Christian. Pleased to be joined by Neil Devlin of the Denver Post. Follow him on Twitter at Neil Devlin. You can get all the prep updates that he offers right there. Also at Denver Post Preps, another great site, another great feed if you want to keep up on all the prep action. Neil, what do you think of this game? Got to be a little bit surprised, don't you?
Yeah, but you know what? Cherokee Trail is getting exactly the kind of game it wanted. They're playing terrific defense. I mean, they've hardly given up any yardage. And then they're going to try to get something out of their offense. But if I'm on Cherokee Trail right now, I'm thrilled to no end. This is the first scoreless first half for Valor Christian since the 2010 opener against Grandview.
Well, it's been an exciting game. Hopefully the second half will be just as exciting. Unfortunately, Neil, we had a little bit of controversy in that 4A game with the touchdown call, I guess, however you want to look at it. Just thought I'd get your opinion about that. What do you think? I mean, I've told some people I am used to high school officials worry more about the knee than the advancement of the ball, and I think that's what happened on that failed touchdown for South.
Exactly, and if you watch when you watch the play live, you can see that the pile clearly went into the end zone and stuff like that. I think that's what we all saw up there. And then we don't have replay. It's arguable whether or not his knee was down, but on the replay, it sure looked like South scored, I thought.
How do you think that leaves the taste in everyone's mouth after that game? That'll be talked about for a bit?
Yeah. I mean, I stepped outside the stadium for a minute, and there was like an army of South people come up and say, "You better write about that tomorrow," and it'll be 23 years until we get here again and that kind of stuff. But, I mean, unfortunately, these types of things happen. I mean, it's debatable. It's an argument. But, yeah, I mean, South doesn't feel good about it. But, I mean, Monarch won the game. They won the 4A state championship. Good for them.
Yeah, and congratulations to Monarch, a school that's building a proud history in just a short amount of time. And, South can be proud. Hopefully they were able to maybe duplicate their success next year. All right, we got to run to a break here shortly. But Give me some schools to watch as high school basketball season has started. I've seen you tweeting out some scores already as we've got some pre-holiday tournament action. Really, the season in essence doesn't kick off till about mid-January. That's when they get into the meat of it. Who do you like so far?
Well, Denver East for sure. A lot of speed and athleticism. They get more size. Watch out for Grandview out in Aurora. They're looking pretty good. And then up north, where we don't hear that much on a regular basis, Fossil Ridge boys are pretty good.
How about the girls' side?
Well, the same names, Highlands Ranch and Regis Jesuit. Let's face it. I mean, are we going to hear from Legacy again, maybe a rapper or something like that? But, I mean, somebody's going to have to handle Highlands Ranch and Regis Jesuit.
That's Neil Devlin, our man on the scene. We talk to him every championship Saturday. He handles the post-prep coverage. Follow him at Neil Devlin on Twitter. Read him at denverpost.com. We're going to come back. We're going to bring you the second half of this game between Cherokee Trail and Valor. Scoreless here at Sports Authority Field. We'll get you the second half when we return on 850 KOA.
Going to get some time added on the clock here. Yeah, we might, in the 4A game, they added 3 minutes on the clock. We might have the same thing here. Neither team is on the field yet.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll kick another 3 on their read.
Where was Monty Thielen before? I know I've heard his name, and he's not been at Cherokee Trail the entire time. He was somewhere when
So, Rich, how are we doing on spots?
You're thinking of Mullen guy. Head coach.
No, not Thinnell. Thinnell was my coach. I know we've run across Monty Thielen before. Was he at DC? Was he at Ponderosa?
Shoot, I don't remember. Yeah.
We'll probably play a 2-minute break here.
I like that.
We have to stay on the air till 6. Why don't we put him in postgame?
Yeah, we could do that. Let's burn one more break here, Rich. We could do one more, and we'll do a quick turnaround. Okay.
And Reed, what are your odds on getting the other coach?
Said like the last time, he's just going to play it by ear, but neither team.
Yeah, they're not even on the field yet, so if Coy wants to do a quick turn and burn a break, I think that'd be fine.
Okay. Reed's producing. I love it.
You can't take the producer out of that guy.
I know. I was doing the same thing between the games, trying to get Andy and Mark going, oh, I mooched up around. You guys are all over it. Saying.
Well, I guess it'll just depend on timing if we're in a break or not, probably, when they come out on the field, so.
Okay. Back we come, Sports Authority Field at Mile High. No score in the 5A state championship game. Right here, a little bit of a shocker, maybe, for some. Valor, 3-time defending state champions. You didn't assume they were just going to walk in here and take this thing away. Cherokee Trail looks very good. Couple of turnovers by Valor. Each team has blocked a field goal. Defensive struggle, Andy.
Defensive struggle for sure. To be honest with you, I'm a little surprised. I was hoping for a close game at the half. I thought we'd have some points scored and I really expected Valor to at least get some points up on the board. And Cherokee Trail they're more balanced than I think I was promised from all the previews that I was told. I thought we were going to see a lot of running. Not the case, really more passing, and it's been successful for Cherokee Trail.
Yeah, they would like to run a little bit more, but certainly Eric Johnson has been able to air it out. 4A state championship goes to Monarch. Congratulations to them. They win it 17-14 over Denver South in what was another fantastic game. Quick timeout. We'll come back. We'll get ready for the kick of the second half here. No score, nothing decided. The big boys title, 5A state championship, Valor Christian and Cherokee Trail, when we return right here on 850 KOA.
All right, I'm just going to say
onto the field, world, so I don't know that we'll get him.
Since this song,
he's in the middle of the field now.
Started on the web. Please let the 15 minutes of Gangnam Style be up. I cannot handle it inside any more of these arenas that I visit. I'm begging you, CHSAA TV, I'm begging you. End the phenomenon.
We will stop watching it if you will stand up and do it live on CHSAA TV.
You know, I was hosting the Mammoth Dancer tryouts. And
Shannon, the head coach, is on the field. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get him.
Okay,
I was told that the judges were going to return much sooner than I should have been told, so we did some giveaways and we're left to kill time. Tried it on the stage. They might be on altitude at some point. You're going to have to watch that during the Mammoth season preview. What do you think of that?
I heard that it was the rain dance that brought on Superstorm Sandy.
Yeah, haunting.
Awesome.
You can come down and I can talk about how he looked coming off.
Okay. Thank you. All right, we'll come right to you.
Hey, you want to tag an ID onto this, Rich?
All right, you stop producing now. Jeez.
Look, I'm just trying not to get us fined by whatever money we've made off this thing. That's all I'm saying.
Here's the funny thing. Reed's a producer. Andy's finally got his own show. Has produced for years and years and years. And my real job is producing the morning show outside of doing all the other TV stuff for
you what?
preps and things like that. I kind of produce the morning show. Really, the guy up top there, Shannon Scott, he just keeps it all together. He and I.
I'm quality. You are content.
Oh, nice. I like.
You're quantity.
And I believe I have another donut.
There you go. Very nice.
Hey, sexy Andy.
Please stop doing that dance.
Oh, yeah, Gangnam Style.
Oppan Gangnam Style.
Yeah. Back to Sports Authority Field at Mile High. A state couple state championships already decided today. Congratulations, Silver Creek. They were in the final last year. Windsor beat them. This year they beat Rifle 32-15 to take the 3A state championship. And as we told you earlier, Monarch beats Denver South to take the 4A state championship. Nothing decided here. Reed Fisher's down on the sideline. You got a chance to talk with Monty Thielen and at least see him as he went in and out of the locker room there. Got to have a big smile on his face.
Well, actually, Corey, you know what? He looked like a very determined head coach. If nothing else, I think he had a more serious look on his face than before the game started. I think he knows his team has a real shot at this thing, and I think he's taking the second half very seriously. They've got the ball first to start the second half. Yeah, interesting note, too, last week in the semifinal, first play of the second half was an 80-yard touchdown run, but I think a long drive might be more beneficial for them here.
Yeah, that was Sherman Thomas that broke that off in that semifinal there. They sure like to start things out that way. Well, for Cherokee Trail defensively, they've been able to keep McCaffrey in check, keep Del Rio in check a little bit with the arm, and Hawkins as well out of the backfield. That's been big.
Yeah, but to be fair about it, Del Rio missed on a couple opportunities. One, he was a little long. The other, the receiver just dropped it. And that really is the story. There were at least 2 touchdowns if passes are completed left on the field by Valor.
Brandon Spencer kicks it over the goal line, so it is an automatic touchback in the National Federation rules here. So Cherokee Trail will start from their own 20-yard line, and here comes Eric Johnson. Back out a very productive first half, just no points to show for it.
We'll see if they continue to come out and throw the ball around the park here the way that they have, although this looks like it might be a run, although they are in spread formation.
Yep, twins either side. Johnson's up under center. He's got Cameron Smith behind him, and they'll move Sherman Thomas around and give it to Smith now up the middle. A little trap play, nothing going. And they think the ball's come out here. Nope, they're going to say second down. Boy, I saw a couple of guys for Valor Christian jump up, particularly Mau Mau, who said, hey, I think we got it.
See that hyper movement at the end of the play as guys start milling around a pile. You wonder if that ball's loose under there. Not the case this time, but I thought the same thing, and then we saw a player indicating change of possession.
I like that hyper movement. I always try to describe that to people, how you know something has happened. 2nd and 9 here, and Johnson will give it back to Smith. Right side, got a little bit of a hold, trip forward to about the 28-yard line there. As he's tripped up by Avilas down around the legs.
Here's how you know you got good push from your offensive line. That's an 8-yard gain. By the time he broken through his offensive line in the point of attack, he picked up 3 or 4 more yards. So that tells you how far they had pushed him out. It didn't seem like that big of a gain because when he came out of the line, they just had that much push off the initial line of scrimmage.
Yeah, you're right. 3rd down and 2 here from their own 28. Under center again is Johnson, and he will turn and give it off Smith right side. Not sure he got there, and he'll be pushed back. The lineman running in at near the 30. I think it's going to be about a half-yard short.
I don't know. I mean, it's going to be short, but I think it's going to be one of those cases where the nose of the football is, again, sniffing the yard to gain, and this is going to be tough. Monty Thielen, I think he may think about going for it. I don't know. The punting team looks like they're staying on the sideline. I think we're going to have our first gamble of this game, Corey.
Oh, why not?
One good push, and it's a first down.
Mau Mau was there in the middle along with Gilbert. Now let's see what happens here. 4th and inches. Now they've got Johnson backing up, looking like he might punt, standing at the 20. Snap to him. He will indeed punt it away. They don't have anybody back there. And a good punt to the right side. It'll bound out at about the 27-yard line with no one back to return or get to that ball. It was actually well punted here to the near side. They just switched fields here, and it was well done. And Johnson's not normally the guy that does the punting here, although we've seen him do some pooch punts during the regular season.
Yeah, well, that's just a case right there where, again, you don't have Christian McCaffrey back there. It works out in their favor. If he'd have gone for it there, it was so close to a first down. I don't know that I could have faulted him for it, to be honest with you.
You talked about the push that the offensive line was able to get on one of those running plays. You get that there, and that is big. Instead, Del Rio and Valor back out now from their own 27-yard line. 1st down and 10. Defense jumping around a lot. To McCaffrey, breaks one tackle, leans forward, gets to the 31-yard line, just wrapped around the outside of his tackle that time and cut it up. Got the big linebackers there on the left side that really have to end up kind of clamping down. You've got the likes of Burnham in there.
And you know what? We're getting an injury report from one of our prep insiders, Marty Cesario, at Marty Cesario on Twitter. He says Cameron Gray is out for Valor right now.
Pitch end around to McCaffrey, trying to get to the edge there. Gets a block as he will slip away. One man and stays inbounds. Pulled down near the 47-yard line. They're going to say he stepped out at about the 44. How about that nifty move on Barnum as he was near the sideline, shook him off and got an extra 5.
Yeah, do not assume that Christian McCaffrey is going out of bounds just because he's near that white boundary. He kept heading upfield, and it looked like a couple of Cherokee Trail players just assumed he was stepping out and calling it good.
At the end of the run, 5 yards, face mask on the defense. Result of the play, first down.
12 yards on the run by Christian McCaffrey. First time he's really seen any kind of daylight today, and they tack on the extra 5. They'll have it at their own 49-yard line.
So, again, we've got another running back in there, Cameron Gray, who that could be a loss now for Valor. Let's keep looking for number 9 out there. Maybe even Reed Fisher can take a look at the bench and see where he is. But again, getting reports he's not playing right now.
Yeah, actually, he came out in street clothes. He's one of the captains for the coin flip. And I saw him out there. So injured in practice, and well, that is a tough loss. Delayed draw, get it to McCaffrey, right side. He's still on his feet, trying to pick his way through. He's got a first down and more, down to near the 37-yard line.
And how about that run by Christian McCaffrey? There is a little peek inside the speed that Christian McCaffrey has. He burst through the middle of the field. He had linemen in front of him that were fanning out the defense and creating holes. He was running so fast they couldn't get to their blockers in time in order to hold guys off for him. He ran ahead of one of his blockers. That was Biggs number 74 trying to get out there and help. That's Isaiah Holland. Couldn't do it. McCaffrey too fast. Exploding up the middle.
Wow, here we go. First down and 10 now, and they go back to the ground here. And off to that right side. And again, McCaffrey, they're just going to get it to him and try to push it toward that right side line. Derek Torrance, that is, up there to make the tackle just a yard or two.
Derek Torrance is a big man. He could rent out advertising space on the back of his jersey. It's so wide. He'd serve as a billboard.
And my apologies, we got some help from our friends up here, of course, with Valor. Cameron Gray broke his leg against Rock Creek. So that was a few weeks ago. Yeah, side come out streak. It's just odd to see it because he'd been there almost the entire season now. Give off to the big fullback. That's Hawkins finding some room as he gets inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. And all of a sudden, the Valor run game is starting to work.
Tackled down by number 42, DeAndre Thornbett for the Cougars. Play is good for a first down.
Thornbett will make the tackle. That's DeAndre Thornbett up there on the tackle. But wow, what a run by Hawkins.
You know, it's funny. It's a reversal of fortunes. Here we thought is now you've got McCaffrey in the Wildcat.
And up the middle goes McCaffrey. He'll get the direct snap as it works. Whoa, ball's on the ground. They haven't blown the whistle yet. Who's got it? Cougars say they have it. No indication yet.
Well,
Murray came out with it.
Murray ran off the field holding it like the Statue of Liberty and then just dropped it. Are they going to rule it down or are they ruling it possession? Now, guys, we've got to have a ruling. I don't like that you've got the ball on the ground, a player comes out with it, we're having a discussion.
I think they want to know if McCaffrey, if anyone had blown the whistle. It is Cherokee Trail football. Second fumble for Christian McCaffrey today. It got ripped out as he was being tackled going up the middle. He doesn't go down very easily. Reed Fisher got a look at it on the sidelines.
Well, guys, there is no question whatsoever that ball came out before he was down. And the Cherokee Trail players, there's a reason why the guy came out running with it. They knew it was a fumble.
Good call by Reed. Replay confirms that. He was down. The ball came out before his rear end hit the ground.
Third turnover by Valor. And here comes Cherokee Trail now. And they'll give it off and around, trying to find a way to get Thomas involved in things.
Hand off to Sherman Thomas.
Sherman Thomas with a nice pickup to near the 24.
Now, that was interesting, that last offensive possession for Valor Christian. Again, we remain scoreless here in the third quarter, about halfway through. It's 7:39 and counting left to go. But, Corey, Valor is the one that came out and decided, the heck with the throwing, we're just going to run the football. And a number of times it was Christian McCaffrey taking direct snaps from center.
7 picked up by Sherman Thomas there. Back under center goes Eric Johnson. Back to Cameron Smith they go. Try to push through the left side. Look at the push by the line. But again, Smith is knocked down. As you can see, the big boys getting in there as Mau gets him around the feet. That's close to a first down at the 26.
Now we got an official's timeout. Looks like we're going to get a measurement here.
Yeah, you got that. That's really close.
Yeah, it really is.
You talked about the offensive line for Cherokee Trail. They're starting to get a push here. Now we're starting to see the speed of Valor's defenses. Even the defensive end, Mau was able to get around a tackler and get around the feet of Smith.
And that's a first down, Corey. Now, it's interesting because in that first half, both defensive lines, it felt like, were neutralizing the other team's offensive line for the most part. I mean, teams had wins here and there, but the defensive lines on both sides more dominant. And as you talked about, halfway through this third quarter, we've seen the offensive line starting to reassert themselves on both sides of the ball again.
Yeah, absolutely. Eric Johnson will bring him up under center here. Smith behind him. Everybody's in tight. Basically, Twins left side. End around. Cameron Smith trying to get to the edge there, and he'll get to near the 30-yard line. Marcus Wilson will track him down and keep him from getting to the edge.
That is a case right there with Marcus Wilson where speed helps, because there was a lane to be had and the sidelines were wide open and available, and Wilson ran that play down before they could make it to the outside, because it would have been all kinds of trouble with the speed Cherokee Trail has.
Got about 4 from their own 30. Second down and 6 now for Cherokee Trail, and they're staying in tight here. Bunch package to the left side, and it is Johnson to keep it himself there. Almost a broken play. They'll give him the 32-yard line, and he gets pushed all the way back to the 25, but they're going to give him forward progress.
Have we seen a pass in this quarter yet?
Not yet.
Trying to remember. I mean, I don't think we have we?
No, we haven't.
Both teams, yep. Nikki confirms it. Nikki Lopez telling us there's been no passes, and I trust your wife more than you all the time, Corey.
Just try to class up the joint here. That's what I'm doing, really.
She's got a lot of work to do.
Johnson wears a suit. I bring my wife. Here we go. Third down and 4. Handoff underneath. And Thomas will be knocked forward to the 33, but well short of that first down. And that's a case of the Valor defense just blowing it up. Stanley Gilbert mucked up everything.
Well, let's see. Does Cherokee Trail there again keeping their offensive personnel out there? This has been the scenario that showed us 2 quick kicks before. Is this a case? Yeah, see, Christian McCaffrey's going back there, and even though they're coming out in offensive formation, he's ready for a punt.
Yeah, fool me twice, sure. Not again. It's only about 7 yards off. And he will get a pretty good kick off to the near sideline as it angles out and bounds out near the 19-yard line. You're asking a guy who doesn't normally punt for you to do it. That's a little bit of a risk, but he's uncorked a couple of nice ones.
I was about to say, he may start punting for you if he keeps that up. That's been Mike Horan-like. Mike never played in this stadium, but once upon a time roamed the field of Mile High Stadium. I mean, he was very good at kicking towards the sideline, doing the coffin corner, and that wasn't a coffin corner, but that sure was effective.
Down to Reed Fisher on the sidelines.
Well, right now, guys, this game kind of feels like a poker game down here. I feel like both teams are kind of keeping things close to the vest right now, waiting to see if the other team is going to make a mistake, and it might very well be the next turnover that decides this game.
Reed Fisher with that beard looks a little like a shady poker player, to be quite honest with you. All he needs are some questionable glasses and a longer bit of hair.
Wear the glasses like the Fossil Man has, you'd scare the bejesus out of me.
Reed honoring No Shave November. We would call it Movember, but he doesn't have the Mo mustache going on.
No, he's got the full facial. By the way, Reed, December 1st.
Yeah, go ahead and shave that thing.
You think I can go ahead and do that?
Well, what's the wife say?
No comment.
That means shave it. You just wanted to look good for state championship coverage.
Yeah, he thought it was going to be cold, and as you and I have laid out a number of times, I don't know where this weather came from.
Beautiful.
Typically, Championship Saturday is the coldest Saturday in December.
We were fighting a blizzard last year. I was doing the 2A and 3A state championships over at Legacy. Same thing. I know you guys were battling that here. The games actually started late over there. They were trying to get the snow off, and suddenly here we are today in the 60s, almost 70s. Makes for a nice drive for Mark Johnson, who, by the way, is going to have coverage of the Buffs and the Pokes, number 19 in Colorado. They're going to try to squeeze 20,000 people into the AA tonight. That place is going to be rocking.
How many of those do you think are going to be Buff fans? Buff fans are reinvigorated about their basketball team for good reason. Tad Boyle has it rolling up there, and we're going to carry a number of the Pac-12 games right here on 850 KOA, especially the Saturday ones, so you keep it here for your basketball fix.
7 o'clock pregame, and they tip at 8 o'clock right here on 850 KOA. McCaffrey goes into motion right side, and a direct snap to Del Rio. He gives off to Hawkins, and he'll get to about the 20-yard line. Gain of just 2. Boy, he got a face full of a Cougar there for a moment as he got handed the football, and Ryan Winkie on the tackle.
Now it looks like they don't want as many substitutions. Valor's going to go ahead and hurry to the line, and now that's slowed down. Apparently some miscommunication in the play they wanted called.
2-yard gain brings up 2nd down and 8.
So shotgun for Del Rio, and they give it off to McCaffrey. End around here, trying to get to the edge. Not going to get there. Absolutely blown up. Everybody stayed home. And Andre Thordvet, again, he's been the monkey in the wrench a couple times on those types of plays.
Well, it's an interesting play they just ran there. Shotgun snap to Del Rio, and he just chucks it forward to McCaffrey on a full run. You see that oftentimes as a handoff, but that one has a little higher degree of difficulty because he's basically chucking it forward a yard.
It looked odd. It really did. Here we go. 3rd down and 8 now from the 20. Del Rio from the shotgun again. Slot left, bunch package on the right side, short side of the field now. He's got it, looking over the middle, now steps up in the pocket, fires it, and caught at the 32-yard line, coming over from the slot, and that is Chaz Polson that will make the catch.
Boy, tip your hat to Luke Del Rio there. He had some hungry defensive linemen sensing a chance to go get a sack. He hung in that pocket. Papa would have been proud. He worked with Peyton Manning a little bit this offseason, and looks like it paid off there because he stayed in the pocket even though as all chaos was happening around him, found his receiver and delivered the football.
Yep, he stays on his feet. Paulson had a lot more room to go, but again, enough for the first down. McCaffrey sneaks forward to maybe the 33-yard line, and Thordvet there again on the tackle. DeAndre Thordvet got him around the legs, a gain of only 1.5 yards.
Boy, what a game. What a gain defensively for Cherokee Trail. Sure tackling, and that's what they need right now. You've talked about it. Valor's been a couple broken tackles away from some big scores. Cherokee Trail's making sure they hold on once they get there.
Up under center will go Del Rio now. 2nd down and 8. And look out, movement on the right side of the line for Valor Christian.
Before the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Kid that forced the movement was Garrett Zimmerman. And it looks like he's having a little something to say to the player that moved. He just got down in his stance and the guy flinched, and that led to the conversation. Looks like, I think that's Zimmerman that's still hollering over there. Whoever it is very boisterous. I believe that's 68, isn't it, or is that 88? That might be 88. That might be Nick Bogolski.
Yeah, Bogolski, I think. From the shotgun now for Del Rio. 2nd down at 14. Looks, throws over the middle. Caught there. Trying to get it to McCaffrey. Not a lot of room. He'll get to the 33-yard line as he's tackled from behind here.
Yeah, they'll pick up 6 yards.
Yeah, my apologies. And actually, it's the first time I've seen that player make the catch. That's Levi Waddell. First time he's been targeted here, and Waddell wrapped up quickly.
Nice quick pickup of 6, though, makes a manageable 3rd and 8.
So they go from their own 33. Del Rio again, shotgun, trips up top, wide side of the field. Ball's to the left side hash. Thordvet's thinking about blitzing up the middle there for the moment now. Del Rio's got it. Quick wheel route. caught there. Over McCaffrey as he bounced to the outside, got the first down. White will bump him out at the 49-yard line. It looked like McCaffrey might be caught in the backfield. Looked like the ball could have been swatted away on the throw. Instead, positive yards for Valor.
Boy, they call it a game of inches, and that's the case there. Cherokee Trail got a player in there. That's our guy Borgert that got in there, or Bogolski, excuse me, and got in there and almost knocked that pass down. But since he couldn't, you had so many Cherokee Trail players suck in because they read the play that once McCaffrey caught it and broke contained to the outside, nobody was left.
First down and 10 from around 49 now. Handed off left side. McCaffrey just goes and follows his big guard and tackle off that left side. He'll get near the 47-yard line.
Things are getting tight. Under 2 minutes now in this third quarter. Still no score, Corey. So some substitutions happening here, and I'm going to be real curious to see who goes back to the air consistently first. Looks like both these teams have chosen to use their running games to ride it to a championship.
Minute 42 to go here in the third quarter. Clock's rolling. Second down and 6 for the Cherokee Trail. 47 under center is Del Rio. Quick flip out to McCaffrey trying to get to the edge here, and he's brought down at the 42-yard line near another first down. First to hit him was Thomas Thorbett on the outside.
Well, the last time we saw plays like that run at this field, Christian's dad, Ed, was playing with Jake Plummer and that Bronco squad, I believe. They used to like to flip that one out on the misdirection play. Effective there. At least gets them in the neighborhood of a first down. If they don't get it here, well, they did give them the first down, didn't they? It says 1st and 10 on the board, but they're short down there. Yep. It's 3rd and 1.
About a half yard, maybe a football length here. Del Rio under center, puts McCaffrey, and they'll give it off. Fullback did not get there. They'll run in. Boy, Hawkins has been pushed all the way back. Let's see what kind of progress they give him, though.
What do you do here?
I see the inside judge running in, though. He's got it. Oh, no.
He just stepped back. He wasn't the spotting official. That cost him yardage. That ball started out inside the hash mark, so less than a yard of where they needed to be, and then the spotting official just moved it back a bit. Now they're spotted enough where it's going to be close. I don't know.
He's going to be short. He's going to be about a ball length short.
Yeah, but the guy we were reading, I thought he was going to be much short. I thought they'd pushed it back to a full yard, and it's not. Like you said, it's going to be a matter of inches if this is not a first down, which it isn't. So do they go for it here? Is it time to get the big boys out and play bully?
A little under a football length here. The ball is just outside the Cherokee Trail 41-yard line. Big decision. Got to figure your line can get you that. And what kind of position are you in on the field? Can your defense stand up to Cherokee Trail? Done a pretty good job here in this second half.
Don't jump, though. We've had a lot of false starts and can't get jumpy on either side of the ball. It's a big moment, but it's not the game by any stretch considering it's scoreless here, and this is probably last play of the third quarter.
10th play of the drive for Valor Christian. Del Rio will come up under center, offset eye behind him. They'll reset power side to the right side.
Someone moved.
Well, now we have to see which side. Did somebody get in the neutral zone, or was it a Valor player who jumped?
Valor's moving
before
back.
The ball was snapped. False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
What did I just say? You can't get flinchy here. We've had flinchy players all day long, and now that's going to force Valor to punt.
Yep, back to the 46 is where they move the football.
The ball spotted back at the 46. Brings up 4th down and 6.
Boy, the nerves get the better of you.
Yeah.
The bigger it gets in the game, right?
McCaffrey, again, by the way, the punter here, so he could effectively, does punt it to the right side, waited till the last moment, gets a good bounce inside the 10, it rolls inside the 5, and down to near the 1-yard line. They pinned Cherokee Trail all the way back, and McCaffrey waited until the very last second to punt that one.
I think he had designs on taking a peek to see if he could get the 5 yards, but there was such quick pressure by Cherokee Trail. They certainly weren't backing up and playing punt protection. They went after him, and because of that, they had to go ahead and he had to kick as that ends the third quarter.
Quick timeout. We'll come back. Still no score in the 5-8 title game on 850 KOA.
Thank you. Okay.
Hey, Reeder. Ask Reed if he's still around. Does he see Mecklenburg down there?
Yeah, he's around.
If you see him again, will you ask him if he'd have any interest in showing up to Bronco Talk for an hour this Wednesday for that gift card?
Yeah, I'll ask him.
And what about the Jackanape running around without his shirt on right now?
Where is he?
Getting tackled near side. Did he run into the tunnel?
I don't know where he is.
He's over there down in the corner.
Is it a kid?
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Reed. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow, Reed. You don't do it during a break.
And you don't do it during a high school game.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to get
He's working his way
mauled
up.
like that,
yeah,
go get mauled at a pro game, I guess. I don't understand why you do it anyway.
I don't know. Weird. Well, there you go.
Is that a kid? That's a kid, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Not so surprising then.
Yeah. We're now going to
He thinks he's flying to Albuquerque, but he's not sure. He says if he's not, he can maybe do it. I can give you his email address. He said to email him on Monday.
Okay, tell him thanks. Tell him it'll be with Treadwell, too, his old teammate, me and Treadwell. Although I don't know. I don't know how I felt about Treadwell. Hey, Dave, maybe it won't help.
Yeah.
Wow. Now that they're closer to us with that spot,
Yeah.
that is really... We're coming back, Rich. Where are we?
Oh, you got out. Uh-oh.
Yes.
Hand off to Cameron Smith.
Hand off to Cameron Smith off the left side. He got to the 1-yard line, and that was it. Brings up a second down here with the shadow of the goalposts on Cherokee Trail.
From our standpoint, that appeared to be a bit of a favorable spot. It did not look like he got that football out of the end zone by much. Refs make you, at all levels, though, make you earn that safety.
I set. Johnson under center here. Quick quarterback sneak down. Get the surge. He'll get to near the 4-yard line here to at least give you a little bit of breathing room for a third down.
Probably the play that maybe Monty Thielen wishes they would have called on first down right there. Just ride that guard and tackle, or that guard and center all the way to 4 or 5 yard line. That's what they did there.
Reed's got a pretty good look at it down on the sideline. That was close.
Yeah, guys, it was close, but his forward progress, I think, was enough to get him out of the end zone. Going back to that punt, that could end up being the play of the game here if Cherokee Trail doesn't get a first down.
Absolutely. It certainly is going to switch the fields on you. 3rd down and 7 here. They hand off to Smith. He's caught up and going to get to the 5, and that is about it.
Hand off to Cameron Smith.
Not a lot of running room between the tackles for both teams. The defense is playing very well, but now 4th down and 6 when you're punting from your own end zone.
And a situation where you can't go with that quick snap type of formation. You're going to have to go and do it the old-fashioned way. You're listening to 850 KOA's coverage of Championship Saturday here on News Radio 850 KOA. And we'll see now Christian McCaffrey may get his first real chance of the game to flip the field with his punt returning skills.
He and Chaz Polson are back standing at the 40-yard line. Eric Johnson will do the punting. Good snap to him, rugby style. He's going to try to punt it away, and a punt that goes right directly to the sideline here on the right side. We'll have to see how far the referee's going to walk this one up. It'll be inside the 40, though, in great field position for Valor.
I was about to say, I thought he was going to mark it outside the 40. I was thinking, well, that also is favorable. Now, I know you wished you could have punted it 50, 55 yards, maybe get a nice roll, whatever, but I think all things considered, if you're Cherokee Trail, that's pretty successful. You didn't give Christian McCaffrey a chance to burn you.
Quick timeout. We'll come back here. 9:57 to go in the 4th quarter. No score in the 5A title game on 850 KOA. Thanks back there.
Hey, guys, I can take this out of the break if you'd like.
Love it. Third time that Valor has started in Cherokee Trail field position. In Cherokee Trail territory. Me no speak for living. Me shy. See, I quote Star Wars there as well. You know, actually, I should put that up on Facebook and let my friends know that I'm actually on. They can see how goofy I look in the booth.
You kind of look goofy everywhere.
Everyone's well aware of your goofy options.
This is kind of cool, though, and I'm glad we could do it. I've done some things for CHSAA.tv. So.
Okay.
They're regretting it.
It's like
right now,
airing
to be honest
ATM
with you.
footage.
They're wishing we hadn't done it.
And welcome back to the Class 5A State Championship game here at Mile High Stadium. Reed Fisher on the field, Corey Lopez and Andy Lindahl up in the booth. We are still scoreless. No score between Cherokee Trail and Valor Christian. 9:57 remaining in the ball game. And guys, Cherokee Trail did a nice job avoiding the safety there. But now, once again, Valor Christian with some good field position. We'll see if they can capitalize and get the first score of the game.
They put the onus on the Cherokee Trail defense once again. Third time today that Valor Christian has started in Cherokee Trail territory. They'll be at the 39-yard line here.
Valor Christian, first down and 10 from the 39.
So as they come out, Luke Del Rio will be up under center. Hawkins is the eye back. McCaffrey's in the slot left side here, and he'll go into motion. They'll give it off to Hawkins. Got a big hole up the middle. He is upended at the 25-yard line. The touchdown saving tackle made by Murray. Anthony Murray just got him around the pins. Otherwise, he's gone.
Yeah, that was, again, another play by Murray. So huge. But wow, what a run by Hawkins. He just exploded up the middle, and Valor has found something to exploit up the middle, and now we've got a Valor player. Hawkins trying to get off the field. Looks like he's cramping up. We saw some South players with the same problem in the last game. I don't know if he's got some other kind of injury. Maybe it's an ankle or something, but just by the way he was sitting, I'm guessing cramps.
Yeah, I would hope so. He came up lame right away, though, when he got hit by Murray, and might have got a helmet there to a shin. So a little injury timeout here, 9:45 to go in the game. It will be first down and 10 after the run of 15 there by Hawkins. Christian McCaffrey by far the guy who's going to get the ball the most. 17 carries, 90 yards to this point in the game. Hawkins, that was his 7th carry now for 45 yards. And on the other side of things, Cameron Smith, 13 carries, 28 yards for Cherokee Trail. Sherman Thomas, 5 carries, 13 yards. A team that likes to run the ball a lot has had to pass an awful lot. First and 10 from the 25 now, 24-yard line of Cherokee Trail. Back to McCaffrey, up the middle they go, picking his way forward, and we'll get to the 18-yard line.
Hand off to Christian McCaffrey.
And McCaffrey tucking that ball in tight. He's lost 2 fumbles today to this Cherokee Trail defense. It's been very aggressive.
Bogulski on the tackle, gain of 6 here.
6-yard gain on the play.
Interesting, though, Cherokee Trail going with some wide splits along the defensive line, and it looks like that split off to the left side is exactly where Valor is attacking. I'm surprised they haven't tightened that up a little bit yet.
Keep an eye on that. Under center is Del Rio. Again, eye set behind him. Receiver left side. They'll roll left side and give it off McCaffrey. Will sprint hand up. He's got the first down to near the 13-yard line. And now suddenly that Valor offensive line starting to get a push. The tackle made by Anthony Murray.
Well, again, it's just kind of amazing to me because Cherokee Trail was the running team, and they haven't gone to the air much in this second half, but Valor Christian is the one that's coming out and establishing their running game, and it looks like they're going to try to ride this right into the end zone.
All right, first down and 10. Reed Fisher will check in with you in a moment to check on Hawkins here. In the meantime, end around. They try to get this ball here to the outside edge, inside the 10, and push out of bounds. McCaffrey near the 7-yard line. As Jackson Burrell will push him out. Reed Fisher with an update.
Well, guys, on Daryl Hawkins, they are retaping that ankle right now. He's gesturing like he wants to get back into the game, but I think they're being a little more cautious here. But given the amount of time on the clock, if there's any way he can get back in the game, I would imagine he will pretty quickly.
All right, Reed, thank you. Just a quick note, Eric Lee and Levi Waddle, two of the guys blocking on that run that puts McCaffrey over 100 yards for the game.
From the 7, 2nd down and 4, and the flags fly. I think that Coach Bieselmeyer wanted a timeout. He may not get it.
Boy, this is the second time today that we've seen this. A coach on the field screaming for a timeout.
Illegal substitution. Valor. 12 men on the field. 5-yard penalty.
And
still second down.
Flies. As you hear some of the coaches yelling at the ref, and Bieselmeyer is having a conversation with our referee today now, saying, look, I was screaming timeout. I realized our mistake, but before he heard the timeout, the ref had already reached for the flag. So, but that happened in the 4A game too, where the South coaching staff wanted a timeout. They weren't awarded it, and we had kind of an awkward play after. I think some of the players even thought that timeout was coming.
2nd and 9, the ball at the Cherokee Trail 12. I set behind Del Rio now. Receiver left side. They put him in motion to bring him in. Del Rio, play action. He's looking to the left side now, and he's going to be sacked. Back at the 15-yard line, had to take a dive forward as that whole offensive line collapsed on him. Winky was there, along with Jacob Martin.
And Thomas Thordvet was the one that was running in the end zone with the initial, which what I would believe was the primary option for Del Rio. He looked, and his receiver had a Cherokee Trail defender in his hip pocket, no place to put the football. A tight end did break late and finally got open in the middle of the field, right in front of the goalpost, in the front of the end zone, but it was too late. Pressure applied to Del Rio by that point.
3rd and 12 from the 15 now. They've been in the red zone for a while here. Somebody jumped.
And we've got flags, and we've got a timeout, and we've got everything.
Before the snap, timeout. Valor, they're first.
Coach Bieselmeyer came off the bench yelling and yelling and yelling. He saw the problem coming here. Let's go down to Reed Fisher.
Well, guys, that time Coach Bieselmeyer was able to get the timeout called. Again, they were going to, I think, call the penalty for the same thing there. And then to boot, there was confusion on the play call. That's why you had a fumbled snap there. A lot of confusion there. And by the way, update on Daryl Hawkins as well. He is currently testing that leg right now. He is running up and down the sideline. The coach is having him do some quick drills. I think they are frantically trying to get him back in the game.
Safety being the better part of Valor. Is that how that works out? And pun intended, certainly, but his trainer going, I want to make sure you're okay before I put you back in the game. It has nothing to do with concussive issues, but trainers are treating a lot of the injuries the same way. Let's make sure we're not going to hurt you more by putting you in.
Well, Hawkins was just handed his helmet, so he's going to go back into the substitution line, let his coach know he's ready to go. I think he wants to get in right away.
That's the bone. You don't get your helmet back until you pass the bevy of whatever we're asking you to do to make sure that you're fine. All right, big 3rd down and 12 play from the 15.
He won't make it in for this play, though. Hawkins still on the sideline.
Shotgun for Del Rio. Resets Ulmer to the right side now, or McCaffrey, that is. Got all day now, throws over the middle, and is caught at the 1-yard line. They've got the first down there. Chaz Polson will pull it in.
And that time, Polson looked like he was the umbrella handle and an umbrella of secondary men for the Cherokee Trail defense. Number of guys around him, but nobody that could get over there quick enough to make a play. And now Valor is knocking on the goal line, their deepest penetration into Cherokee Trail territory today.
7:37 to go in the game, no score. And now the Eagles, 1st and goal from the 1. Del Rio quickly up under center here, gives it off. McCaffrey tries to bounce to the outside. He's going to be dragged back. Got back to the original line of scrimmage, but a big defensive stand on 1st down, and it's led by Evan White.
And despite the push backwards, Valor still is inside the 1-yard line, but a great initial burst into the backfield by one of those Cherokee Trail defenders. We've been calling his name a lot today, big number 87. That's Ryan Winky. He's coming off that left side of the offensive line for Valor, and he's been disruptive all afternoon.
Left side hash. Del Rio ice set behind him. Hawkins reset to the right side. Give it to McCaffrey again. Right side. Got caught down around the feet, did not get there. Thornvet got him down around the feet.
And Thornvet is hurt from it. I wonder if he screwed up his shoulder on that. He went low, and then he got some help also. Number 42 getting in there and assisting on the tackle. That's DeAndre Thornvet. And his brother, Thomas, got in there with him as the defensive back. I don't know which one you were calling. I saw the DeAndre. TV get in there first.
Yeah, it was DeAndre. It was 42. The first one that got him with the shoulder here. Paulson goes to the left side as they break the huddle. 3rd and goal from the 1. I set again. Del Rio under center. Give it to McCaffrey, left side, and he's in there. He's in there. Touchdown, Valor. Second effort, backed his way into the end zone. Just got out of the arms of Murray and White as they were coming down there. And now a late flag will come out.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that's going to go against Cherokee Trail for entirely too much chatter with the official after the call was made. And I think there goes the warning to the Cherokee Trail side right now. I think he just told his captains, you better tell your guys to keep their opinions to themselves after a call is made. I might be wrong about this, but we will see a little bit of a discussion. The only other thing I could think it could be for how late the flag came is if there are too many men on the field for Valor. But I think right now the question is, does Valor want the penalty here or do they want it on the kickoff?
Whitecap will come over and tell us.
Result of the play is a touchdown. After the score, unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense, 15-yard penalty to be assessed on the kickoff.
And I think that was the case. I did not catch the young man's number, but one of the defensive backs for Cherokee Trail had a lot to say after that touchdown was signaled. One of his teammates tried to push him away. He didn't get the message, and now they're going to pay for it with penalty yardage.
Spencer with the extra point. And it's no good. Missed it wide left. So it is 6-0 Valor Christian. First points up on the board. 6 minutes, 1 second left to go in the 5A state championship game. Back in a moment right here on 850 KOA.
I can take this out if you'd like.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Thanks, Rich.
Okay. And welcome back to Sports Authority Field at Mile High. We finally have a score in this game. Valor Christian leads Cherokee Trail 6-0, 6:01 remaining here in the football game. And guys, what a sequence that was at the end of the last drive there. We have the penalty on the kickoff. We have the missed extra point, any one of which on their own could be a big enough play. That extra point, if Cherokee Trail can get a drive going, that extra point may end up being a key factor here.
Absolutely, and Ryan Wakey's a pretty good kicker at that for Cherokee Trail. 9 plays, 39 yards, 3 minutes, 56 seconds on that drive. But again, the extra point missed, so 6-0. Now, the benefit of the unsportsmanlike conduct, Valor will be kicking from Cherokee Trail's 45-yard line. It's always something that goes through a special teams coach's mind is, well, we're this far down, maybe we just squib it and see what happens.
It's a great point. We saw that in that earlier game. Now, I don't think it was because of the penalty. Well, maybe it was because of the penalty. All I know is that we had a Monarch kick that popped up in the air, live ball, and South had to really hustle to get on top of it.
By the way, Cherokee Trail only 1 as the kick will go almost through the uprights there. from the 45. Spencer showing he's got a pretty good leg on him as well. By the way, Cherokee Trail, I believe, only one first down in this second half.
And Nicky Lopez tells me that last drive was the first time either team had a first and goal situation. Took till the middle of the fourth quarter to get there.
Wow. Well, here we go for Cherokee Trail now from their own 20. First down and 10. Eric Johnson from the shotgun, looking in trouble around the peak. Steps out of one problem now, steps out of another. Leans forward. Oh, he's got some room now as he leans forward to about the 26-yard line. He looked like he was going to be sacked at least 3 times and was able to escape.
That's just one of those athletic players that you're not really able to prepare for. Now, there's plenty of athletes on that Valor squad, but I think this is a kid you just don't know how elusive he is until you get there. And his lineman actually knocked down a tackler and then tripped over him. That's why Johnson didn't have a clean hole to get through. He would have picked up more.
6 out of absolutely nothing. End around to Thomas. He tries to find some room. Pirouettes a couple of times to near the 29.
He's going to set up a 3rd and short. Now, let's just say that this ball advances, but it's inside a yard. I think Cherokee Trail might have to go for it, even though they're deep in their own territory.
Aviles, by the way, on the tackle.
Their defense has played well, but you don't want to let them run out the clock. It looks like Valor has its running game going.
Yep, 4:53, clock still running here to the end of the 5A state championship. 3rd and a yard and a half here. Thomas in motion. They give up. Back around the left side. And Smith will be caught by McCaffrey and brought down. Christian McCaffrey read it and tracked him down.
Well, what's the decision here? Looks like there's some player movement, but are they going to go for it? I mean, now it's going to be a 4-yard loss, so 4th and 5, but we're clicking down to 4 minutes left in this game. Now just a 6-0 advantage, but do they punt here? They're spread out now. I don't.
They are spread out here. They may go. Johnson for the shotgun. You bet they're going. Need 5. Pumps once. In a little bit of trouble now. Still rolling right. Needs somebody to come open. Tries to get it himself. He won't get it. Out he goes at the 25, and they give it over to Valor.
And I just don't know. You basically ran 4 curl routes, and there wasn't a single player open now. Johnson just didn't want to throw it up there. I understand. I don't know. I think at that point, it might have been better served just to toss it up to see what happened. Even a pick might get you more yardage. But that was a tough play for that young man. Heading to the sideline, had people chasing him, and there was nothing open. I mean, nothing. He had a defender literally next to every one of his receivers as they curled. And once he rolled to the other side, he cut off half the field.
Yeah, Reed Fisher's down on the sideline here.
Yeah, but, had a good view of that play. I don't blame them for going for it, first of all, given the amount of time on the clock. I also don't blame them for spreading it out, but as Andy said, nobody was open. Now, I know it's a quarterback instinct not to want to just throw it up for grabs, but it was 4th down. If that was intercepted, that might not have actually been the worst thing for Cherokee Trail. They might have actually gained field position, if you will, so it might have been better off to just throwing it up and see what happens there.
Yeah, he really had run out of so many options and was trying to, at least hope one of his receivers could come back for him there. He had actually cut off half his receivers by rolling to that right side. He only had 2 guys, but it's a great job defensively for Valor. They had everybody covered up.
Boy, they really did, and you understand. I mean, this is what you guys talked about, though, beginning of the game. This isn't going to be, it appears, any runaway Valor victory, but a score here certainly would start to tilt things towards a Valor victory as we're now under 4 minutes to go in this game, and you've got to always come against them. And we talk about how, we heard Coach Bravo talk about it at the end of the Monarch State Championship game where they won the game. He said, our style forces teams to do things they normally wouldn't. I think that's a case where, I don't know if it's style. In this case, it is a running game that's churning up clock, but Valor's athletes force you to coach in ways that you wouldn't always do just going off the card. You got to take chances sometimes. Cherokee Trail, I think, took a good chance there, but if you're a Cherokee Trail fan, that unfortunately was a play that really had no shot.
Now Valor probably going to keep it on the ground here as McCaffrey's back set deep in the eye here as Del Rio brings him up under center and gives it back to McCaffrey. McCaffrey going to lose yardage here, and he's also going to end up getting yardage out of it because of the tackle.
Nick Bogolski there on the tackle, but
got him around the headgear, didn't he?
Yeah, they got him around that inner lining, that neck area of the pads, and that's just not allowed. Now it's tough because McCaffrey ducked his head down, and I don't think he really used it to pull the player down. I didn't see a face mask in there. But
that's the discussion, I think. They're saying, hey, I'm pretty sure that's what the conference is about because no call has been made yet.
Now you see another young man in there. Caleb
Personal
Barnum.
foul, face mask, defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Repeat first down.
I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see a replay, and maybe I missed something. I thought his hand stayed up. Maybe Reed Fisher even had a better look at it. Now we're going to get a look again, but that's him grabbing the shoulder pads, and I never see the hand readjust. We're getting a look on replay thanks to our friends at Root Sports, but that's inside the pad. That never touched the face mask, and you can't even call horse collar on that. That is a missed call by the official, and that may stymie the last chance that Cherokee Trail had. Well, it moves them forward. It'll be 1st and 4. That's a tough call if you're Cherokee Trail.
Yeah, 1st and 4 here. That's how far back he was, back near the 30.
That was going to be a loss about 10.
Yeah, 1st and 4 here. McCaffrey in motion, and they give it off first man through, and that is Hawkins, who spun down to near the 18-yard line. And quickly wrapped up that time by Jacob Martin.
Now it's tough. The hands are up in that upper area of Christian McCaffrey, but that was not a case where that was a face mask, and they don't have the benefit of replay down there. They've got to watch it in live action. It's just they've done such a great job, the officials have, of letting them play today. It's tough to see a call like that in what's a critical moment in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. 2nd and 3 here from the Cherokee Trail 18 now. 3:04 to go in the game. Del Rio with an eye set behind him, back to McCaffrey. They go to the right side. McCaffrey will fall to inside the 17. He's got a couple yards short here.
McCaffrey, though, is slippery. We've said that about a couple players today. He's another guy that you think you got a square shot on him, and he finds a way to slink out of your grasp or your direct hit.
Boy, that time that was Ryan Winky that got in there and was able to penetrate and knock McCaffrey down for just a gain of a yard. 3rd and 2 here. Got to get the ball inside the 15 for a first down. It's at the 17 here. In the meantime, 2:26 to go in the game. I said again, and they flip it out to McCaffrey. Trying to get to the outside edge. Got that first down, and he'll run out of bounds at about the 13-yard line.
And the Cherokee Trail side once holding. There is a yellow flag down there. It's tough to see. It's laying against the boundary. I think that's going to push back, holding Valor. So hold on a second. As I guess Lee Corso would say, not so fast, my friend. Now, the problem, though, if you're a Cherokee Trail person, the clock is ticking down. Valor's got this down at 2:17. So even though this looks like it'll become a 3rd and 13, 3rd and 12.
Holding. Offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat 3rd down.
So, yeah, let me make it about 3rd and 11.
Yeah, I didn't see who the infraction was against. I think it was Barnum that was being held, though.
It was out there, yeah. It was out on the edge. One of the receivers just trying to hold his block long enough for McCaffrey to get out there. And because he met some initial resistance from some penetrating tacklers, it took him a while to get out there. And that's what happens sometimes. But
3rd and 11 from the 26 now. Got to get to the 15 for the first down. Del Rio up under center again. Eye set. Slot man goes to the right side, wide side of the field. Del Rio, delayed handoff, back to McCaffrey. He's hit, down he goes at the 22-yard line, and that's Burnham that gets to him from behind.
Now does Cherokee Trail use a timeout? I believe they used a timeout, didn't they? They did. Clock is stopped, so now what does that leave them with?
Timeout. Cherokee Trail, they're first.
2 left.
2:09 left to go here in the ball game. Reed Fisher on the sidelines.
I think this is an interesting situation here for Valor. You got a 4th down play. You make a field goal here, you make it a 2-score game, and I think that would pretty much put it out of reach if you can make a field goal. And I don't think it's that out of the question. It'd be a 38-yard try. Then again, you could try to just go for it on 4th and 6 and ice it. It'll be interesting to see what the coaching staff decides to do on this one.
Remember, we've had 2 field goals blocked today. Each team has blocked a field goal, so that's a risky proposition, particularly when you're talking about 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids out there in high school football.
Well, look at the score. It's 6-0. We've had a missed extra point.
Right.
It's not automatic for Valor from the kicking side of the ledger. Now, it looks like they're out there, and they're going to try it again, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, they've got their kicker out there.
They're going to bring him out and give him a chance. David Corral is the guy who's going to hold it here. Brandon Spencer, a chance to absolutely ice this one. It'll be from 38 yards, just inside the right hash. Looks like he's set. Snaps a good one. Spencer, the kick on the way, and it is good. Andy, how many times have you and I, 10 years ago during Friday Night Lights, and I know that Marty and I do it an awful lot on TV here as we follow along in high school football here on whatever telecast we may be on, how important special teams is and how important Brandon Spencer, the junior, becomes with that field goal right there.
Yeah, you just don't know what you are going to get in a high school football game when that kicker goes out there 7 yards behind his long snapper and how it's going to play out. But it worked out for Valor there, and that young man can, if nothing else, no matter how this game plays out, and there's still 2 minutes left, that young man can now feel better about his championship Saturday.
Absolutely. Well, you got to know he had a pit in his stomach by missing that extra point, but was good from 38. 2 minutes, 4 seconds left to go. Now Cherokee Trail has really got their work cut out for them here. Line drive kick. This will go over the goal line here, so it will come out to the 20-yard line for Cherokee Trail.
Well, you're not really built for this if you're Cherokee Trail, but the good news is Eric Johnson, if you're a Cherokee Trail fan, is having a good day throwing the football, but they got to get some guys open. In the last couple of drives, it's been a bit of a struggle to get any separation for those receivers from the DBs.
Got some
got
debris
on the field. Oh, it's a
one of the
football.
footballs. Sure.
Someone's throwing a football around.
So first down and 10 here from the 20, and Eric Johnson will go from the shotgun. Looks like he's checking off. Whoop! Ball got snapped to him as he was checking off, and now he'll get sacked back at the 8-yard line.
Johnson was looking to his sideline to yell something to his receiver, and the ball was snapped and bounced off his ankle. That was going to be a low snap. I have no idea what happened there. Valor's crowd's getting loud. I don't know if that's what caused some of that confusion there, but now it's 2nd and 22. The clock running under 2 minutes, minute 40 and counting, and Cherokee Trail is in all sorts of trouble.
So here we go from their own 8 now. Johnson got a clean snap that time, throws it over the middle, sliding catch at about the 25 as the catch made by Murray. That is a big catch. Clock still rolling here. Minute 17 left to go. Gain of 17, 3rd and 5 here. Direct snap to Johnson again, rolling right side. Caught out there on the far side. No, the ball ripped away, and Lee has come up big again, knocking that ball away.
Well, that's going to set up a 4th down with only one decision left to make. And now we'll just see if they can continue this streak. There's some boos down there. I'm not quite sure what that's about. Are we having a discussion as to whether it was a reception and then a fumble, or, I mean, maybe it was a reception? It's got to be incomplete, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Whistle's blue.
You know what? I wouldn't even go with it. If you're watching it on TV, you see those guys having that discussion. There's no way you call that a catch. That was a great play by Eric Lee there, the DB, to rip that ball out before he could even get possession, and it brings up 4th and 5 from the 25.
Is this the final down of the season for the Cherokee Trail offense?
Just a minute 5 left to go. You got a long way to go. Low snap again to Johnson. Now he is hit. He is going to be brought down. The ball may have come out, but it doesn't matter. And give credit to Sione Mau Mau, the first guy to get to him. He's even got the football in his hands as he comes to the Valor sideline.
The fiercest pass rush of the day comes for Valor at the biggest moment for Cherokee Trail when they need to gain yardage. And that is how they'll put a cap on this one, I imagine. All that's left to do is maybe kneel down a couple of times. There are some timeouts left over there for Cherokee Trail, but we'll see if they choose to use them with this 9-0 score and just 57 seconds left to go. Valor's back in field goal range, that ball resting at the 23-yard line. We do want to tell you you're listening to Championship Saturday coverage here on 850 KOA Denver. We welcome you, Corey Lopez, Andy Lindahl, Reed Fisher down on the playing surface. Again, 57 seconds left to go here in our second game. Monarch claimed the 4A title, and Valor's a couple snaps away from taking 5A, Corey.
Back to McCaffrey. They go from the I set and now running downhill, and late flags come in. A lot of clutching and grabbing going on. Of course, Cherokee Trail trying to rip that ball out. They'll use their second timeout here, but there may be a face match there, too, as he got to about the 15.
Quick discussion. Really is going to have little effect on the outcome, it appears.
Personal foul, face mask, defense. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Last year, Valor Christian beat Pine Creek in the 4A state championship game 66-10. We've got 50 seconds left to go in this one, and it's a 9-0 game. That's how close this thing has been. That may be the difference between 4A and 5A right there in a nutshell. How good the teams are. And what kind of talent you could throw out there, and the experience you could throw out there, and the numbers you could throw out there. Not everybody's going both ways. So first down and goal from the 7 now. And flags again here toward the end.
Before the ball was snapped, delay, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
They run it down to 17 seconds. They really, and Cherokee Trail, I think, is going to see some handshakes going on even between the two teams right here. Del Rio is actually complaining a little bit to the Whitecap. He said, I thought I had plenty of time. I'm watching the back, Judge.
Well, the clock's right in front of him. This end zone has the clocks just outside of those goalposts, so he should be able to see them. Those are actually field level. Going the other way, you've got to look up to the club level.
So because of the penalty, they're going to have to run another play. They'll go into the victory formation here, and Del Rio will kneel down at the 15-yard line, and they won't have to snap it again. Two very good clubs in Class 5A. History being set today, though, by the young school of Valor Christian. 4-time state champions. They've done it in 3 different classifications. They get their first 5A state title right here as they beat Cherokee Trail, who was in the championship, any title game in football for the first time ever, the final 9-0. Some quick thoughts on this. Matter of fact, we'll take a break. Come right back. Trophy presentations coming your way. You got to hear some of the post game here. Reed Fisher's going to catch up with some of the very excited players here as Valor Christian does it again and does it for the first time in 5A, winning the title here today. You're listening to high school football right here on 850 KOA. It's awesome.
All right, guys, I'll let you know what we find out. Just an FYI, this field is not in good shape.
Well, we'll definitely talk about that here toward the end as we get going. I mean, it's the time we got, 5 o'clock. We got to walk. We'll get into Broncos talk here toward the end. Nah, we'll figure it out. We're fine. Thank you. What? Who's going at 6? By the way. Oh, pfft. No. Screw that. We don't want the weekend. We got plenty of stuff to go. No. The weekend's at 6. Hey, Rich was saying.
All right, guys. When we return, I have the winning coach ready.
Thank you.
Say that again.
How far out?
Let's get the winning coach. Minute 20, Reed. Oh, he can hear.
Did you catch the verbal ID, by the way, Richard?
That's fine.
Oh, Richard. I did verbal, so we need it right. It was right at the top.
Did you say Denver?
459. I said 850 KOA Denver.
Denver, Globeville, and
so that way they can't say nothing.
Springs.
I mean, you can tag it on here if you feel like it, but we got it right at the top. So, what were you saying about the weekend now at 6?
It's at 6.
I really don't care if we throw to it at 5:30, whatever you think, man. I mean,
all right, Corey, I'll just take it out of the break here.
Sounds good.
I got to go get my kids, but it's your call. Because I got to be right back here tomorrow.
Would you guys just wander that direction with them?
Sure.
Right.
We'll think about it. See what we got. Okay.
I say at 5:30 we turn it over to them if he can do it.
Or if you want to get Marty back up here, cut Andy loose.
Yeah, it's up to you guys. You want to get Marty up here and you want to man it, that's fine with me. But
Shoot him a text.
Yeah. Welcome back to Sports Authority Field at Mile High. Congratulations to Valor Christian with a 9-0 victory over Cherokee Trail. Here as Coach Visselmeyer gets a big hug from Jack Del Rio. Coach, congratulations. What a game. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it was definitely a hard-fought game. I thought, first of all, the Cherokee Trail, that was an awesome effort. I thought they sold out. Their defense was spectacular. I thought they really did a great job coaching them up. I just thought they did a great job, and our guys overcame. It's not hard to repeat, that's for sure. You know what I mean?
And now defensively, did they do anything to make it really like anything unexpected, or what was going on there?
No, I think they did. They did exactly right, which is they played what they do, and they played super hard, and they did a great job. And credit to our guys is overcoming that there in the end. And I think our defense got some good spots and got the win.
Well, in a lot of games, not as close as this during the course of the season. What kind of challenges did that present as you got into the second half and in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I mean, it would have been great to have a bunch of close games, don't get me wrong, but at the same part, too, our first two games were neck and neck, and these seniors, a lot of these guys have been on varsity for all 4 years, and they've been through some grinders. So they're a pretty battle-tested group, so it's pretty amazing.
Last one, Coach, 4 championships in 4 years. What do you say?
Oh, I'm just so proud of these seniors. That's really cool. The other accomplishments are great, but I'm just really proud of this group. A lot of people didn't think they'd be quite what they've done right here, and we're just so proud of them. They did a great job.
All right, thanks, Coach. Congratulations. Corey, we'll send it back up to you while we try to round up some players.
All right, sounds good. The trophy presentation's coming up
and
here.
And joining me now is the commissioner of CHSAA, Mr. Harry Waterman. He'll be making the presentation on behalf of the Colorado High School Activities Association to the 2012 state champions in 5A. For the first time in 5A, the Valor Christian Eagles, coached by Brent Wieselmeyer, are your champions.
Well, there's a song that Valor Christian's heard an awful lot of here in 4 years. 3A state champions, back-to-back 4A state champions, and now Class 5A state champions. It's the first time it's ever happened, actually, in Colorado high school history. We did some research. There's a couple of teams that did move classifications after winning 3 straight state championships. Cherry Creek, actually, but this is when they reclassified between 94 and 95. Cherry Creek had won it in 6A and then won it in 5A twice. And then in 1989 through 91, Longmont was in 3A, and they reclassified there and moved up to 5A and won back-to-back state champions. But at that time, in 90 and 91, 5A wasn't the big classification. It was 6A, so it's still impressive moving up from essentially moved up from 3A to 4A and won 3 state championships there. But you think of this, 5 years old, and Valor Christians won it in 3 classifications. They come to the biggest classification here and win it 9-0. I don't even know how to even describe that to people, just how special that is for a program to be able to do that.
Yeah, because it takes a lot of work, and it takes the right kind of athletes, and it takes the right coaching staff, and they put all that together. Now, you're going to hear the detractors come out because it is what it is, but, I mean, look, this was a competitive game. This was a competitive game. You were talking about how it was a competitive game, how the margin of victory was smaller, and I'd even point out they didn't even face the second seed. They did beat the first seed on their way here, and that was Thunder Ridge, but they didn't face Ralston Valley.
Right. Let's send it down to Reed Fisher, who is with what arguably has been the MVP for the last couple of years, and that's Christian McCaffrey.
Corey, there's no question about that. Christian, congratulations. I can only imagine what's going through your mind right now.
Yeah, can't describe the feelings I'm feeling right now, man. I got jitters. It was ugly, but we did it, and that's all that counts. A W's a W, and can't thank everybody enough. Our whole team, we worked so hard. Every single person that has to do with this program, the community, all the fans that came out, man, I'm just so happy right now. I can't even describe it.
Well, talk about the character of this team. You guys haven't had a lot of games that have come down to the end of the game. You're looking at a scoreless game in the fourth quarter. What was the mood like on the sideline?
It was up the whole time. We knew Cherokee Trail's an incredible football team, and they were. We knew they were going to make some plays, but it's not how you play when things are down. It's how you get back up. And I think Coach Vies really influenced that in our minds the whole entire week. So we knew it was our seniors' last game, and we love those guys. They've been here since freshman year. And we knew we had to do it for them, so it was amazing.
Now, you got one more year coming. You're going to try to make it 4 for 4?
Man, I hope so. That'd be incredible. Right now, celebrate this win and get going.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Guys, that's Christian McCaffrey. We'll send it back up to you.
25 carries, 114 yards, and, of course, the 1-yard touchdown run. None bigger than that, certainly. He got his yards. He got his touchdowns. McCaffrey came in here with a total of 36 touchdowns on the season, 22 of them on the ground. And, again, in the second half, you could see, instead of putting it on Jack Del Rio's, and now I finally did it, Luke Del Rio's hands, and the receivers in the line to have to pass block, they went to the run game, and they went to both McCaffrey and to Hawkins and said, let's do this. Let's just put it in, let the big uglies do the work up front.
Well, and that's what they apparently needed to do. It's impressive what Cherokee Trail's defense did today. Don't forget about that. 18 points given up on average all season long. They've been shutting down high-powered offenses. They shut down the high-powered offense in the state, and Valor Christian hold them to just 9 points. Unfortunately, their offense doesn't get untracked after a couple of cracks at it. But, they should hold their heads high, and Valor can be proud of the fact that they were able to do whatever they needed to do to get a win. And today that meant running the football, not passing it, running it. And it's so funny. It really doesn't matter what level of football you go to, college, pro. And we saw it today here at high school. If you can run the football and you can play defense, and both teams played defense today, you've got a good chance of winning a championship. Not something to be lost as we start to wind down some. It seems like December in the NFL anyway, this stadium where we're at, it's where the offenses don't put up the 35 and 40 points so frequently like they usually do. And so it just shows you how important running the football is no matter the level.
Let's hope that changes this year. We'd like December to be full of points, at least for the team that's going to wear the blue and the orange.
Well, now it's just the orange.
Yes, just the orange. Although I had
a little blue in there.
Yeah, a little bit of blue. 155 yards total on the ground for Valor, and 110 yards through the through the air. Luke Del Rio 12 for 20 and 110 yards. Did get picked off once. That seemed like eons ago early in the game. Valor Christian 265 yards total. Cherokee Trail, pretty even stats in the first half. In the second half, not so much. They 134 total yards now, and that, again, one first down in the second half. The Valor defense had a lot to do with that, and the Cougar offense just never could get back on track. Then it seemingly they never came out of the locker room after intermission.
Well, yeah, you're right. They never got going to the form that we saw. They looked more fluid and more versatile anyway in that first half. But they were running the football all right. They just didn't make the number of plays that they needed to. But that was the game that it was, It was one of those where they just kind of exchanged punches like two heavyweight boxers feeling each other out, but no one got the big knockout punch. It took everybody just kind of winning it off points, and that's basically what Valor did then towards the end. Is they finally got in with their running game. They went exclusively to their running game, it seemed like, in the second half. I don't remember a lot of Luke Del Rio passes flying through the air. And I don't know. Another championship, Who cares how you do it?
Well, and to that point, here's the other half of that running game, and Daryl Hawkins is with our Reed Fisher.
Thanks, guys. Daryl Hawkins here. Guys, congratulations. I can only imagine what's going through your mind right now.
I don't even know what to say. It was a tough game. They played us tough.
we came out maybe a little more confident than we should have been, and that's why, the game was so close. But they're a great team, and we played hard, and I don't know what to say.
Well, talk about the character of this team. You guys, it's not very often you're in a scoreless game in the fourth quarter. What was going through the mind of the team at that point?
We just knew we had to bounce back somehow. Obviously, a lot of the plays that we were executing, they weren't going through as smooth as we wanted it to, but we knew that eventually, if we just keep going hard and we keep on running the plays the way we should, that eventually, something will come through.
Now, it looked like it was killing you there at the end of the game that you couldn't get back in there. Were you just dying to get back out here?
Oh, yeah. This is my last high school football game. Whatever it takes for me to get back on the field, I'm going to do it. I'm in a little bit of pain right now, but in the long run, it's definitely worth it.
All right, so congratulations on your state championship. Thank you
so much.
Guys, that's Daryl Hawkins. We'll send it back to you.
All right. Hawkins with 8 carries, 46 yards. And again, that bum ankle that he got popped on a great run, got him to the 15, set up that scoring drive for them. And again, he is a senior. Other side for Christian McCaffrey, 4 catches to go along with his 25 carries, 52 yards, so a total of 168 yards. And I could be pretty positive and sure in saying that because they punted the ball away from him. They kicked the ball away from him. They didn't want him to offer up any more offensive stats, but certainly Valor found a way to get Christian McCaffrey involved as often as possible here, too.
Yeah, and that was running the football. We noticed at the start of the third quarter, I almost wondered if something was wrong with Luke Del Rio. Now, nothing was wrong with it, but they went a lot of Wildcat that first drive out in the third quarter. And they did a lot of running with Christian McCaffrey, and they made sure he got the ball directly, and that's just kind of how they got him involved again, as you talked about. But I guess the good news is for some of you defensive coordinators out there in high school football, he's only got a year left after this. Next year is finally the senior year, and then I guess you're done with the McCaffrey boys. But still going to be one more year for Christian McCaffrey. He's been a lot of fun to watch, and he's just so nimble and quick. And I don't know. I don't know how, as we're barely done with this season, and you start to peak towards the next one, because before we know it, it'll be August, and we'll all be in the heat covering the start of football again, at least from the high school standpoint. And I don't know how you don't put these guys up near the top again with a guy like Christian McCaffrey. He's that special a player.
No, I think you're right. Good coaching staff and great players. Brent Wieselmeyer, if you heard in the pregame, referenced that he has the players together for a preseason kind of get together, and just to kind of get the sense of the team, but to lay out, this is what we're going to do in practice, this is what we're going to do with all of this stuff. And last year's meeting Brett said it took about 8 minutes, and they were done. Now, 20 seniors graduate. They come into this year. He says, I had to kick them out of there. It was about 11:30 at night. He said, no, we got to go now. It's just a totally different attitude with this team. Young, inexperienced. You saw it. They lost to Mullen to open the season up. Lost to Bingham in Utah. But then suddenly you see the resolve of this team to come through in the biggest classification. And, I don't want to overstate the fact, but it is huge for a team to come in 3 to 4 years from 3A to 5A and continue winning state championships. These are not the same players that did that. Some of them have been here for back-to-back 4A state championships, but it's a big deal for players to keep coming and the staff to stick together and put something like that together, and then to do it against a very good team in Cherokee Trail, who certainly proved their worth here today as well.
Yeah, they've done it against a lot of good teams. Thunder Ridge, we were talking about some of the classic dynasties that may pose opposition to this Valor team as you look at 5A football over the years. Columbine, will be back at some point. Columbine's going to be back up there. These guys are going to have to battle Columbine. Thunder Ridge, Father reminded me on the phones the other night on Primetime Sports. We run that show 7 to 10 every evening. Please join me. But he was talking about, don't forget about Thunder Ridge, another team that made noise in 4A, jumped to 5A, and all of a sudden they're one of the big boys on the block. Ralston Valley looked like they took a step closer this year, so plenty of competition to be had. Yet all that being said, it's going to be interesting with Dave Logan in the Cherry Creek squad next year. We'll see just how a number of these squads continue to grow. I don't think you can ever count out Mullen. They've been a power for a while. They'll always be around the conversation. So I believe Reed Fisher now is downstairs with the quarterback for Valor, Luke Del Rio.
Thanks, Andy. Here with Luke Del Rio, and congratulations. What a game.
Thank you very much. It's a really special win, and it was a hard-fought win.
Not often that you guys have had a 0-0 game in the fourth quarter. What was that like on the sideline?
It was different, because the lowest scoring game that we had is Mullen, and we had points scored by then. And so it was kind of, okay, we need to get things going. And we asked ourselves, hey, do you want this ring? How bad do you want it? And, we got that score and put away with a field goal.
It looked like once you guys got the touchdown that the momentum kind of swung back your way at that point.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be really hard to score. So once we did, we knew it would be pretty tough for them to get a touchdown as well. And, we thought that pretty much sealed it.
What was it about the Cherokee Trail defense that made it so tough to move the ball in the first half and the third quarter?
They're extremely fast. They're fast, they're physical, and they play extremely hard. We knew that they weren't going to flop. Their safety, number 3, I think his name's Evan White. He's all over the field. He's an incredible player. He shut down Christian for the most part, but we got in the end zone with Christian on a power play that pretty much sealed the deal.
Now, you were on this team for 4 championships in 3 different classifications. Not many players can say that.
Right. Stan was here. This is my first, actually. My freshman year, I was on a team that won state, so it's really nice to be able to win it, as a senior.
Now you got going on to Oklahoma State. Looking forward to that challenge?
Absolutely. I'm early enrolling, and it's going to be a great challenge and chapter in my life.
All right. Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys. That's Luke Del Rio. Guys, back up to you.
All right. As we mentioned, Del Rio, a lot of passing in the first half here. They went to the ground game basically in the second half, though. 12 for 20, 110 yards, an interception for Del Rio. But, boy, how you like that? Transfer in, play for Valor 1 year, and you get yourself a state championship. You lead them to the 5A state championship here. That's another one of the things that certainly Valor had to deal with, and that is bringing new players in, and they had to change the entire offense. Remember, Del Rio got hurt early in the season, broke his left forearm, and so they had to change the entire offense for him because they still wanted to find a way to get him in there. Obviously, he could still throw the ball because he's right-handed, but he could not hand off one way. Revamped the offense, went to this pistol set, figured out how to get it done.
Well, it just tells you about the kind of challenges Coach Wieselmeyer and his staff will represent, even though they're getting close to their end of their run with some of the players that they have here. Christian McCaffrey 1 more year. Luke Del Rio already moving on. We'll see what this squad looks like next year. But again, we'll just see how it plays out. You got to tip your caps to the champs, both champs. Valor Christian, Monarch worked very hard for their 4A and 5A state classification championships today. And this is always a great day out here at Sports Authority Field. Glad the Broncos allow them to do that. And we're going to be right back here tomorrow watching the pros get at it.
That's right. You got more work to do. Quick time out here. We'll come back. Maybe another interview coming your way, and we'll wrap things up for the day as well. A couple of other state champions crowned, and some final thoughts from all of us here as well. From Sports Authority Field at Mile High, the 5A state champions Valor, 9-0 over Cherokee Trail. Back in a moment, right here, as the postgame show continues on 850 KOA.
Well, obviously that was a brain fart. Of course he wasn't there for the other championships. Corey, is there anybody else specifically you want me to try to grab here?